You
John.
could do that.
Oh, okay, all right.
Totally.
Okay.
You'll do John first.
All right. All right. Anywhere I need to sign cards.
You'll do John, and then we'll take a sign cards.
Her last.
Well, no, I'm gonna have her done first.
Be
by
quick
AJ.
about it.
I think AJ should.
No, I think they should go and she should be the last.
Oh, okay. All right. Then wait a minute. You should go. Okay. Where's AJ? All right.
Not here.
No, you know what?
What do we do?
Let her be the last.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't put my Christmas. Okay. Yeah.
I have the ones that light up, but I decided that made a little much. I've got that looks like Christmas bulbs. I just decided that would be a little too
She
flashy.
could have been flashy for your last meeting.
Flashy,
Come
no
on
pun-
now.
no pun
It's the holidays.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right, Lane. I did see that in the thing. So, oh my God, look at this. What are you doing?
Charles, I know you're gonna be mad.
You forgot your computer. I even told your wife.
I did. No, you know what was bad?
I even told your wife and said, listen, I talked to him when you go home.
Joe asked me, and I'm like, shit, I didn't even look for it.
I told her that. I said, your husband told me he had to look for it.
I know
I
where
said,
it
did
is.
you think you know where it is?
It's one of 3 places.
Send it in with her.
Yeah, I just have to. It's on the side of the couch, in my bag, or in the
Side of the
office.
couch, in my bag, da, 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 right?
3 places.
Now look at Councilman Coyle. He returned all his stuff
Oh,
And a bag.
in the bag.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, wait. Okay.
Good. You sign this one, you sign this one, and then switch. You got pen? Got your pen? Okay.
no, better yet.
Okay.
No, I don't have a pen.
Okay.
But I'll do this. I'm gonna forget this. I've got the laptop.
I'll have somebody.
I'll get changed when, all right.
Which I have
Yeah. Wait, he might have.
Wait, you're giving me a pen?
Yeah, I'm giving you the pen.
Okay.
Here's change right here.
Oh, this is third. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Thank you. You are in good standing. You.
At the end, where we discussed.
Got a pen?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So 5.
And,
Take the pen from there. Steal the pen.
well, you're not stealing my pen.
Normally,
That's my favorite pen.
Marlena, I steal a pen every meeting.
Okay, all right. You take that one. You take that one.
Man, we have full quorum today.
Thank you, sir. You're invited to come out with us afterwards. We don't know where we're going, but you're invited to come out with an addition.
What don't you have?
You guys are going out. I don't have no idea where we're gonna go. TBD.
You can get water?
It's all right. Marlena doesn't love
Oh, my lady, you missed water. I'm like,
Can I have my pen?
I did.
Thank you.
I did.
Nice.
But you know
David's
why? Everybody else takes 2. So I was doing 2, 2, 2.
AJ,
I'll do him
thank you
last.
very much. I need you to sign these, and then we'll be all done.
No, but there is some charity somewhere.
Oh, do I have change? Wait. Hey, you guys should wait. You gave me. You gave me.
Councilman Fresher forgetting his computer. Where are you guys going?
Oh, I see. I
gave you per
you're fine.
I didn't think it started playing until we did the pledge. Hi, thank you.
That James from Sue.
I could have.
You remember you were like,
Got them both?
Oh, I did one.
There's another one.
Except for head of hair. I'd be in GQ magazine.
you're already up. How's everything?
Good.
Yeah?
I'm gonna talk to the people.
Never got to.
But, yeah.
Do the kids in the morning, dance kitchen.
Because that's why.
Toast.
No, I'm just.
My morning, I'll be with the kids.
All right.
It's all matching.
It is, when they go in and out, they are constantly.
So I never got to see it.
Test 1 2. Check 1 2. It's not very loud.
You come to me though. I'm doing that.
Is that right?
I still
Take it off, please. Take it off, please. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me.
It's about 10:45 in the morning.
Now, you're the one.
Amending the
yeah.
45 is about 10.
I'm the one.
I'll go with you.
All right.
We all set?
Gotta check with Sonia.
What are you?
Places,
in.
places, everyone, places.
I wish I had a pen, I'd be able to write. So many people. Thank you. Thank you, Marlene.
With her to make sure it didn't change.
All right, everyone ready? Okay. Oh, Marlena. Oh, I'm ready. Can we start? Okay, you ready?
Cheryl, easy here.
Who?
IT. My computer.
No. No, he's not here. You were supposed to bring your old.
I have it.
All right, just give it to us. We're taking it. We're taking them.
All right, we ready? Everyone ready? Okay.
That's still the same? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. This is the combined meeting of December 22nd, 2025. The time is 6:09 p.m. Please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, could you read the roll?
Councilmember Brescher.
Here.
Councilmember Coyle. Here. Councilmember Harris.
Here.
Councilmember Patel.
Here.
Councilmember Patil.
Here.
Councilmember Pointer. Councilmember Shmuel.
Here.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, could you read adequate notice?
Adequate notice of this meeting as required by the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975 has been provided by the annual notice sent to the Home News Tribune, Star Ledger, Desi Talk on November 18th, 2024, and posted May Lobby Municipal Complex on that same date.
Thank you very much. Council President's remarks. First of all, we want to congratulate the Edison Jets cheerleaders for their national championship title. We will present it to them at the January 12th meeting because they were not able to attend tonight's meeting. So I hope everyone comes out for the January 12th meeting. Also, Ordinance 2270 will be amending. So that's from the business end of things. I want to extend my best wishes for, I hope everyone had a nice Hanukkah who celebrates. Unfortunately, that Hanukkah, the first day, was marred by tragedy that weekend before last at Bonny Beach in Australia. And unspeakable tragedy, unspeakable anti-Semitism, and there's no place for it. Unfortunately, it still exists and it's growing, and my heart goes out to everyone who lost their lives or who was injured, and I hope we can do something to stop this scourge of hate that's going on all over the world. We had a wonderful Winter Wonderland celebration on December 14th, or was it 13th? I can't remember. A really great crowd showed up, and we had the snow machine. It was DPW did a wonderful job with the lit trucks that were coming through with lots of Santas on them. But probably the best part was that we had the snow machines, but we really didn't need the snow machines because it started snowing on that night. And it was actually Deputy Chief Dudash who said to me, I think the public is going to want to know how much it costs to get real snow coming from the skies. So, but it was a great celebration, and we had a terrific turnout. So that would conclude the Council President's remarks. We go to unfinished business of the ordinances up for adoption. So we have 2268 and 2269. Do we have any comments or questions on those two ordinances? Okay, seeing none. And ordinance 2270, we will need to vote to approve that amendment, and that will be during the regular part of the session. Am I correct? Yep, okay. Administrative agenda, any comments? This would be 6A through A and B. Any comments on the administrative agenda. Library board appointments. I actually have just one, and Sonia or Kat, maybe you can answer. So it looks like one of the appointees is for one of the expiring terms. The other one, it looks like, is for the existing vacancy. Is that for the Pat Massey vacancy?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm wondering, so there has been that particular vacancy, I'm glad it's going to be filled, that's been vacant for almost a whole year. And I know that there have been applications to the library board. I'm wondering, why is that third position still being left vacant?
I can check with the mayor. This is his appointment.
I know, I understand.
So I will follow up with the mayor to see if there's anyone in the queue or,
Okay.
or an application that he's reviewing.
Yeah, because I've had a couple of people asking me, and they said whatever happened to their applications that were filed early last year.
Understood.
Okay, thank you. So A and B, anything from anyone else? All right. Review of the minutes, combined meeting of December 8th. Comments, questions? All right, we go to 8A through C from the business administrator. Comments or questions? All right. 9A through H, Department of Finance. Questions? Comments? All right. Department of Health, 10A through C. All right. Department of Planning and Engineering, A through I.
Council President?
Yes.
D, for Lero Engineering, what's the approximate cost for this project?
It's approximately $5.5 million.
And are they going to do they're going to do the engineering of it? Are they also overseeing the project as like a construction management firm?
Yes, the proposals for all of the oversight and construction management.
So they're going to design it and they're going to oversee it?
Yes.
Okay. And E, for the Jets building, I couldn't find this $600,000. What was this for?
This is for, if you take a look at your backup, the change order includes, there were some gaps in the scope of work, the contract drawings,
Okay.
okay?
I mean,
As you know, with the architectural work. So
yes.
this was all encompassing of that. And any mandatory revisions that needed to be rectified to make sure that the building was conforming.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see like the scope of it. I seen it listed. I just didn't know what the scope of work was for it.
There's a summary sheet from Colliers
Oh, was there?
Engineering attached.
Okay, I'll take another look during the meeting here before we get to the other part. I just couldn't find it.
Okay. Anything else, Councilman?
No, that would be
Okay.
it.
All right. Anyone else?
Council President?
Yes.
I know that the administration advised me on this before, but just so it's on the record, for E, for the sports building, this is closing out pretty much all open change orders from the structural side. Understood, like, furniture is still going to need to be purchased. We just purchased like the food items and such, but from the building itself, this should pretty much close out the.
Correct, because the other mentioned, the furniture, for example, that is not part of the contract, so that's separate.
Yep, I just wanted to make sure from an apples to apples perspective. And just as a general commentary for 11D, the backup shows that the existing building is built in the 50s. A lot of our buildings were built pre-1970s and such, and we've had issues from the contamination aspect and just in general properties of older value. So just a request to make sure that we're forward-thinking in regards to those types of items that we've experienced delays in over the past couple of years. Thank you, Council President.
Okay, anyone else?
Council President?
Yes.
Also for D, I just want to ensure that the project management aspect, the delays that we saw on previous projects will be dealt with this project.
Understood.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Anyone
Council
else?
President?
Yes.
Just one last item. In regards to item C for the forensic document solutions, the digital archiving, I think this is fantastic for the township. Many people that, for instance, may request certain Oprah requirements from planning and engineering, a lot of those documents are just old and dilapidated. So us having a digital copy of that forensic evidence will definitely be well worth the township, the township's expenditure on this. So thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Council Vice President. You would think I would have gotten that right by now. Sorry about that. All right, anybody else for number, where were we on 12? All right, for number 13A, oh, I'm sorry, 12 Public Works, A through G. Questions, comments? All right, moving on to 13, Department of Water and Sewer, A and B. All good. All right. 14, Chief of Fire, A through C. Okay, we move on to the regular meeting. And so now we go to the approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Can I get a second? Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, good. Number 16, unfinished business, ordinances for further consideration, public hearing, and final adoption. Madam Clerk, could you read the ordinance?
An ordinance establishing the not-to-exceed salaries of certain officers, department heads, and employees of the township.
Thank you very much. We open for public comments on this ordinance? Yes, Joel?
Joel Bassoff, Beach Lane, Edison. Okay, so first of all, this ordinance shouldn't be on the agenda at this meeting.
Can you speak into the microphone a little closer? Thank you.
Yeah, this ordinance shouldn't be on the agenda at this meeting because there's a problem with the notice. So the New Jersey statute that governs public notices for ordinances, it's 40:49-2, paragraph A. It says that the public notice has to state the time and place for further consideration. And the notice for this ordinance just gives the date of the meeting, but not the time. So when a date without a time is sufficient, the legislature says date. But in this case, they say time because they mean time. Elsewhere in the ordinance, it does say date because that's what the legislature intended. So when they use a different word, it has a different legal meaning. So time and place means the time of the meeting. Date just means that the date is sufficient. But aside from that, there's the way that this ordinance smells. So I'm going to help the council because on this side of the podium, the odor of this ordinance might not waft to you, but I'll tell you how it smells to the public. A 32%, $48,000 raise for Mayor Joshi stinks. It smells like it's cynical, greedy, grubby, and a money grab. So it's good for the mayor that he won re-election by a landslide, and it's okay to enjoy the sweet smell of victory. But then to say, well, I won big, and I'm going to celebrate by getting my lame duck council to give me a nice, big, fat 32% raise, well, that turns the sweet smell of victory into the stink of arrogance and greed. So if there was a legitimate argument that the office of the mayor should come with a salary of almost $200,000, the argument should have been made before the June primary and definitely before the November general election. The only reason to wait until after the election is because you know that the argument smells bad to the public. And also, if it was legitimate, you wouldn't be burying the mayor's money grab in an ordinance that has the salary ranges for employees, because the mayor is not an employee of the township. He's an elected official of the people. And if it's appropriate for the elected office of mayor to come with a bigger compensation package, then it should be in a standalone ordinance, or it should be in an ordinance for elected officials. If you bury this in an ordinance that's for employees, it's subterfuge. Also, if a 32% raise was legitimate, you would defer it to the next mayoral term starting in 2030. If the raise is appropriate for the office, and it's not just a gift to Sam Joshi, then it should be for whoever's inaugurated for the next term in 2030. If it's Sam Joshi again, that's fine, then it's legitimate. And you should also be aware that you're voting for a salary that's more than the governor of New Jersey currently makes, and it's almost as much as what the salary will be for the next gubernatorial term. And it's worth noting that when the legislature gave a raise for the governor's office, they didn't know who the next governor was going to be. It was prospective only, and that's the only appropriate way to do it for this. So you should delete the mayor's raise from this ordinance and just vote on the rest of it by itself.
Thank you. Thank you. Counselor, can you shed some light on the situation in terms of the time and date?
Certainly. So this was brought to our attention last week. Mr. Ranone and I reviewed this. We reviewed the notice itself, the statute that governs the notices and the requirements and how that's actually been interpreted. The ordinance was, it had its first hearing. It was publicly announced. It was publicly announced at the last meeting. The notice that was published includes the regular council meeting as the time and place for where it's to be discussed. That was published a year ago. That's publicly available information. And the purpose of the statute is to ensure that the public is aware of what the ordinance is, aware of when it's to be heard, and aware of the process by which they can come in and object to it or support it or whatever they need to do. That requires substantial compliance. That's the phrase that is all throughout the case law, substantial compliance with the notice requirements. Even technical violations do not rise to that level. And a technical violation is just, it's a violation that doesn't interfere with the primary purpose of the statute, which is to fairly convey sufficient information to allow the public and other members to make an informed determination as to whether or not they should participate in the public debate. That's the goal here. And I think that that's what has been accomplished here. Mr. Ranone agrees with me. This has been adequately noticed, and we're comfortable making that determination.
Right. And am I correct that this template has gone back to 2009?
That's what the clerk informs us, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Joel. All right. Anyone else? Yes, Liz.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I just have a question. I did read that it was a 32% increase. And my question initially was, is that 32% spread over the 4 years, or is it a one-shot deal for 2026? And does that mean in 2027 there'll be another raise, in 2028 another raise? Or is this good, same raise, flat for 4 years, excuse me? That was my question. I realize salaries have increased overall, and if you look at other salaries, I just got a kick out of, they announced the mayor of New York just got a huge raise, and his salary is going up to $172,000. So I thought that was kind of funny. But if it was 8%, 8%, 8%, adding up to 32%, because many times when you hear about negotiations, oh, they're getting a 15% raise, but it's over 3 years. Is this a 32% raise over 1 year or 4 years? And that's specifically, I know there were other raises on there, but the price of employment status is high, but this one just seems dramatic because it sticks out because of the 32%. So I was just asking how that runs. Thank you.
I believe that the 32% is what the current salary, the next salary will be starting for 2026. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. It would be changed only by another ordinance, another salary ordinance, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you. Yes, Bruce.
Good evening, Bruce Seitz, 88 Parquet Drive, Edison. First of all, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas to everybody, and I hope we all stay in a good holiday mood for the whole meeting. I'll talk about a few things in the open session. Sue Malone and I have talked about this, both of us having been senior corporate executives, and most corporations, almost every corporation, has salary guidelines, what a minimum is, what a max is, what the range is. Okay, when I worked for Bristol Myers, you got a raise based on performance, 3 to 9%. There were guideline caps on everything. So just picking up on what Elizabeth said, and she saved me a few words because I'm only going to take 2 minutes right now, is what again is it, okay? If it's justified or not, if it's competitive, that's fine, but what is the salary structure here? What is the salary policy? Is he going to come back next year and say, oh, on the 20, is there a guideline? Does this mean he doesn't get a raise in 4 years? It's not clear. Every corporation that I've worked with, it's very clear what you get. You have a merit raise, and then you have a raise for promotions, and sometimes there's combined. And I don't see any really good policy here on it, or any guidelines, or any restrictions. Okay? 1 minute and 35 seconds. I could do it under 4.
Bruce, did you have a question, a specific question that we could answer for you?
The question is, what is the, is there a policy structure, guidelines, and can he get another, say, I want another 25,000 next year, or is it controlled within a range of, say, 3 to 10% or 5%? Okay, Social Security this year gave 2.9%, okay? Companies are giving out. I do work with some major companies. I do consulting, and they're giving out raises anywhere from 3.5% to 9 to 11%, okay? There's got to be some structure here. I don't see it, and if you do have it, I think it should be made to the public. Thank you.
I'm going to let either Counselor or Sonia respond to that. But I would just say that any other salary increase would have to be done through ordinance only, and you would have to have the council signing on to that. Having said that, to his specific question.
I mean, that is the restriction. It needs to be voted on. It needs to be
talk
voted on
into
openly.
Mike? Sometimes it's hard to hear.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that is the restriction. It needs to be voted on. It needs to be part of an ordinance. It needs to be reviewed by council. Public employment is a lot different than private employment for those purposes.
Okay. Again, I would volunteer to help if there needed to be a structure or guidelines. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Gloria?
Gloria Dittman, Edison, New Jersey, Midland Road, Edison. First of all, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to everybody and a Happy Hanukkah. And I hope 26 is a much more peaceful year. And I want to thank you, Madam President, for addressing the anti-Semitism nonsense that's going on. I think there should be a stronger statement coming from the mayor, acknowledging that we should be in the peace business, not all that other stuff. And a little act of kindness goes a long way, and it could start with me. People should remember that. My background is human resources. I have worked with the salary guidelines for many, many years, and there always is a strict guideline for each promotion. There are so much of a percentage that is given to each person, and it is done on merit. No one in the real world, I know that's different from government, but no one in the real world ever gets a 32% increase. No one, nowhere. And for anyone to get that kind of an increase is just, I mean, it's very hard to swallow. We're talking about people who their average, if they're really, really, really good, get a 5% increase. Think about it. And I would like to bring up just one particular incident where I really feel the mayor should not get this sizable increase. There was a magnificent Veterans Day program right here in this room. Chief was a big part of it, and I'm happy to say that our veterans certainly deserve any accolades we can give to them. But the mayor wasn't here to take care of that very important priority. Bob Deal was here. Now, if you're talking about Bob Deal getting an increase, I might go along with it, but I certainly can't go along with this one. Can I talk about 69, or is that off limits?
that would be when we're talking about the no, we're not on that one yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure.
You can come back for that.
Thank you.
Okay, Joyce.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. It just ended on Sunday, and I don't say anything for Kwanzaa or Three Kings Day. How I know all the holidays from being in the public school system.
Yeah.
How I know all the holidays, I don't see a Kwanzaa thing downstairs decorative. I went to a program on Saturday, it was Kwanzaa. Now,
You can just give your name.
excuse me, Joy Ship Freeman.
Thank you.
All right, Edison, New Jersey. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, Prez, all right. Now, in talking about the 32% raise, is that to make the mayor's salary comparable to the rest of the directors? Because I'm looking at the salary guide for them, and they a lot of money. And I don't, from being from the public sector, I'm not from the private like the rest of the people are. I'm from the, the government structure. I don't mind people making money on different levels, but I want you to be worth it. Like if I hire you to be the director of such and such, I want you to have some background, not be somebody's friend or some political favor. That's when the money's okay. The reason why people are not okay with different monies is because they look at their resume and they look at it and they was like, for that amount of money, we can get somebody better. That's my only problem that I have, and if making the 32%, if we want to tell the truth about it and say that we're trying to make the salary comparable with the other salaries, because I'm looking at that salary guy, gee, boy, I shouldn't have went into education. I should have went into politics. The amount of money people are making while the rest of the people are on poverty level. And like he said, I got a 2.9% raise this year. And guess what? The tax went up so much they ate it up. Then the health insurance, they ate the rest of it up. So I didn't even see it at all. I'm just saying there's a lot of people suffering. That's why people are complaining about people in government, not just here, all over the place, making huge salaries because they're not, our pockets are empty. All right? Thank you.
Joyce, you asked the question about where is this salary increase to try to make it on par with the directors? Any comment on that from either? No? Okay.
It's just a random 32%?
Council President,
Yes.
can I
Sure,
just
of
comment?
course.
Just for comparison purposes, the police chief would range 250 to 310. Fire chief, 225 to 270. The high range on water and sewer, finance, public works, planning, engineering would go to the high end of 205. So if you're using the high range from a comparison standpoint, I hope that gives a bit
You
more.
sound like you're saying the same thing I'm saying to compare, what I said about it.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that
you gotta make the salary
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's commented as to what those amounts actually are versus just saying, hey, it's 32%. I think it is good for us to know how that actually compares to the other directors and such like that.
Well, don't you think that would be good if people explain stuff to people rather than people sitting around trying to guess why the range is like out of sight? Because you know and I know that percentages go up each time that you get a raise, each percent. When everybody else is getting 333, that's making 38,000. That's a little bit of raise. And then, you know, if you gave them 32%, man, you probably had standing all down the street around the corner to get a job here if you was giving 32% to the $38,000 people. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, AJ.
Ben's from Edison. Do I have the floor, Council President? Thank you. All right. So, about the whole raise, let's face it. See what happened 4 years ago. See what the mayor just did. You see what we saw last 4 years. The mayor completed. You know, I feel like if he deserves a raise, and everyone from the administration and the police department, the chief of police, and all you guys deserves a raise as well. I have nothing else to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry, Sue.
Sue Malone Barber, 85 Pleasant Avenue. I'm going to bring up some points that I brought up last week. First, I want to say, I think it is really important to remember that the mayor is an elected official, not an employee of the town. When we talked about this at the last meeting, I think, John, you said something about related to the value of money, like what your money can buy. I don't think that is a relevant measure because
Point of information.
we're all dealing with that. What we could buy 5 years ago with the same amount of money we can't buy now. Joe, you pointed out that the mayor, you know, basically does his job. That's great. That's great. As Bruce said, there is no scenario in business, and I think Gloria said the same thing, where an employee for doing the same job gets 32%. So we can't call this a merit increase because we need to be deciding the mayor's salary, not based on who the mayor is, but based on what the mayor of Edison is worth. And I think at the last meeting, we said, well, the mayor, Margot said, the mayor of Woodbridge makes close to that for a township almost the same size. Well, that's one scenario. The mayor of Newark makes less than that. Population of 318,000, that's 3 times the size of Edison with urban problems. The mayor of Patterson makes 140,000, 305,000 people, again, 2/3 greater population than Edison with urban problems. And I will reiterate that going into 2026, the governor of New Jersey will earn $210,000. I don't see any scenario where raising the cost structure forever, because that's what it does. You increase your cost base, and then you build on that. So every subsequent raise will be starting at $200,000 or $198,000. I believe that to be completely irresponsible as stewards of our money. This is taxpayer dollars. This has nothing to do with the job Sam is doing. It has to do with the value that what we think the position of mayor is worth for Edison. And just because Woodbridge mayor is making that kind of money doesn't mean the Edison mayor should be making that kind of money. I urge you to think long and hard about this, Don't just rubber stamp this. If you think we need to increase the salary for mayor, why does it have to increase 32%? Increase it 15%. It is not about the current mayor, it's about what the job is worth compared to our governor and municipalities that are 3 times our size with big urban problems. This salary is inappropriate, not in line with the job, and I urge you to please not give this a rubber stamp. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. All right, anyone else from the public? Going to get a motion to, John, did you want to say anything? Okay. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, who's? Oh, yes. Okay, hey, Mikey, I'm sorry.
Hello, Anonymous. I just want to get clarification. I apologize that I'm not up to speed on this. This is in reference to a salary increase for it says certain officers, department heads, and employees of the township. This has to do with the mayor as well?
Yes.
Okay. And is this also involving the council?
No.
No. Okay. So this is, all right. So this involves the mayor. Okay. Yeah, I don't think the mayor should be really getting any much more money, well, for a number of reasons. And I don't like the comparison to like other towns. You know, I don't like that. You know, because it's used as leverage to try to justify, you know, pay increases and stuff like that. I personally don't think the mayor should get any kind of raise if he's happy being the mayor and everything like that. You know, be happy with what you're getting. You know, people in the general public, you know, we don't get these kinds of raises like that. There's been multiple issues over the term of him being mayor that generally has not reflected favorable for members of the public who struggle in a sinking economy as the dollar just winds up having less value and stuff. And I just wonder how many people, you know, get involved in politics to actually, you know, serve the public. You know, I wonder that. You know, and I just, I don't agree with the mayor. I don't support the mayor. So I'm not in favor of it. Yeah, I'm not in favor of it, also because of the fact that the upstairs third floor where there was the art gallery, as an artist, it broke my heart to see that all the art was taken away. So he could put, like, you know, campaign type photos of himself and stuff like that. I think that's a slap in the face to the public. And, you know, if it was on a referendum, I don't think the public would go for it. You know, so since the theme for a while has been disregard of the public, you know, I don't like the whole system of the council deciding on a raise for the mayor when the public has been very vocal about many issues involving the mayor. And I mean, there's a number of things that come to my head, but I don't even really want to start rambling off on them because I don't really think it's going to make a difference anyway. If I start giving an itemized breakdown of like certain reasons why I don't agree, I really don't think anything I say has any sort of impact over what anyone's going to do. You know, I wonder why I'm even speaking on this, to be honest with you, because I don't believe anyone is going to consider anything that I'm saying anyway. So,
Thank you. Anyone else? Did you, Councilman Brescher, did you want to say
Motion to
something?
close the public portion.
Wait.
Well,
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. Okay, I'm sorry, Councilman, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment, because I heard what everybody said, and everybody has different issues with it. And some of the issues I do agree with the public on, okay? But some of those aren't really in all of our control here. But I will tell you this, originally, the raise came up, and I guess this came up a couple years ago. And at that time, everybody gave their consensus as to what they thought was fair at the time. And I know some people might think I'm crazy, but at the time, I did say I believe the mayor's position was a $200,000 position. Whether you believe that the mayor is deserving of that, that's not what this is about. This is about setting a dollar amount for that mayor. We've had mayors in the past, I think it was Rosigliano, that took less. In fact, I think she took a pay cut of like $25,000. But that was her personal choice. They could donate it to charity, they could take it. But for that position, it's just hard to imagine a mayor making $100,000 and directors that are making $200,000. And I'm not saying the directors are overpaid, but it goes back to what our ex-councilwoman, Ms. Joyce Friedman, said, was it's kind of on par. Now, at that time, they didn't want to bring that up to $200,000 because they thought that it would be egregious and the public would be upset. And I acknowledge that. And I think at that time, it probably would have been more prudent to have done like an 8% and 8%, and, kind of like Elizabeth was bringing up. Yes. But that isn't up to this body to decide. That's up to the administration, and then they have to have approval by the council president to put it on the agenda. So that's how we kind of ended up here. Overall, though, like I said, the dollar amount, I don't find as being gross. You can take umbrage in saying that you don't believe he's done a good job, right? But obviously, a lot of voters do believe he's done a good job. So at the end of the day, that's your electability, right? Where I'm talking about is just the dollar amount for the raise. And I just felt that $200,000 was a fair dollar amount for a raise for the person of Edison. And I just wanted to state that.
Okay.
Council President, point of order, can we close the public portion, please?
Yes.
Motion to close the public portion?
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we need a motion to adopt.
Council President, I just wanted to, are we going to have council comments? Well,
No, that comes after motion to adopt.
okay.
Okay, can I get a
Motion to adopt.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, now on to council comments. I believe Councilman Brescher, I think those probably were your comments, right? Okay. Anyone else?
Council President?
Yes.
So I think with this, you can compare it to whichever one suits your needs better. You can say Woodbridge, you can say the Governors, you can say New York City. It's fine. But like Councilman Brescher said, that it is about the position. This salary is going to be regardless of whether Sam's in the office or not. And I truly think it should be even higher, because at maybe 210, 220, but it is not amount. It is like working as a CEO. You are the executive of a company of a massive budget, and you are managing every single person that works in the administration office, to the police, to the fire, and you are every single situation, and you are the first call whenever something goes wrong. And I think that's a lot of pressure and a lot of ask of that position, and I think it's well deserved. Whoever is in this position is putting in their heart and soul, and yes, they are serving the town, but that does not mean that they cannot take care of their family or whatever issues that they have or anything along that lines. So yes, you can compare to whatever you like, but I think this position requires the amount of paying that we are trying to get to. And again, this is not like a yearly raise. It happens, randomly depending on the council or the administration ask. If they would have asked right after they got whatever raise last time, and they ask, oh, we want another 40%, I'm pretty sure the council would have said no. So again, you can't really compare the percentage jump because, again, that's unfair because it's not a yearly thing. And at the end of the day, if we have a good salary, I'm not saying that that's the only thing that motivates people from running, but that wouldn't be a hindrance from someone not running. If someone is a good candidate for the mayor position, but if they cannot afford it financially, then I think that would be a sad day when someone says, hey, you know, I would love to run and I would love to serve the town, but unfortunately I cannot manage it with the financial risk because, you know, I make X amount of dollars and this is what my family survives on and I don't have another source of income. But because of that, I can't take this on. So yeah, I think there is a give and take, but I think this amount for the amount of work and effort that goes into this position, I think it's well deserved.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Council President?
Yes, Council Vice President.
Thank you. I agree with the comments Councilman Brescher mentioned before wholeheartedly. If you look at the original salary increase, I believe it was 2022, went up to the 150 mark. I can say for myself, in the 4 years experience since then, just having a better understanding of what the position demands, I believe that this is a fair level for the mayor position, for the elected position of the mayor, regardless of who is in the office. So with that said, I think it's I think it's the right level for what's involved and the size of our township. Thank you, Council President.
Anyone else?
Council President,
Yes, Councilman Coyle.
I will be voting yes for this ordinance. And I want to say that years ago, I think the salary was, I think, $47,000 or $49,000, and maybe less at one time. But, you know, for anyone to be involved in volunteering or be involved in holding office, some people may believe you have to be independently wealthy or have another income to do this. Today sets another standard that if you want this job certainly can separate where you are today in making a living to take on this job and make a good living. And most people don't get involved in politics because it's a financial difference in what you're doing today and what you'll be doing tomorrow. I mean, how many people could not run for mayor, 10 years ago and leave their job making $125,000 to make $50,000? It just doesn't make sense. And all the other things you may, roll into as well. So I think it's a perfect salary. In fact, I'd ask to increase it more. But I think it certainly separates the opportunity from others to get involved. And I'm happy to see who else may run again in 4 years because you have a valid salary to take on this job. So I agree with Councilman Dish Patel and what he said, which is very similar to what I'm saying, is that it definitely holds an opportunity for someone. If you look at this audience right now, I would guess that more than half of the people in this audience that speak are retired, can afford to be here. They have the opportunity time to be here. And that's somewhat factual. I mean, I don't want to point ages. Most people are younger than me, but they're close to retirement. But you have that opportunity time. Let's face it. You have time to be involved and be here. And you can't say this won't inspire others to seek public office and be the mayor of Edison. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Council President.
Yes, Councilman Patil.
I completely agree with my council colleagues. In fact, when I was 4 years ago, or for that matter, 16 years ago, when we were looking at the mayor's salary, let's be brutal honest. Somebody needs to sit here for full time, look after thousands of employees, spend more than 12 hours a day, and what is the reward? Yes, the public service is one part, but at the same token, they also have to survive. They also have to live. Some of our mayors probably, adjusted their salaries based on their primary job. Some of them, most of them are not full-time here. But Mayor Joshi took this challenge. He became a first full-time mayor and devoted his time more than 8 hours, day over day, including the weekends. So even 4 years ago, when the salary was discussed, I was surprised that it was 150. In fact, that time as well, I was of the opinion that salary has to be at least $200,000. But that does motivate someone sitting in that office to fully focus on the operation and the well-being of the residents and not worry about the politics, not worry about the second job or find other way or other stream of revenue for survival. So for that matter, even today, that 199 mark is still not a competitive compared to the CFOs or the CEOs of the industry. I work in a corporate sector. I will tell you that I make much more than the current mayor, which is not fair. I'm one employee of the corporation. Mayor is a safety director. He has 1,000+ employees. He works around the clock. He deserves much bigger salary than what we are. Again, I'll be in fully support of this increase. Again, thank you, Margot, President, for having this on agenda.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else?
You know what? Just one more comment. Anybody that remembers our last mayor probably has pretty good memories of him. Very empathetic, nice man. Thought about the town, thought about the people quite a bit. But he was a part-time mayor. That was the only complaint that I ever heard about the past mayor, Mayor Lanke, that we had, was that he was part-time, and that if he was full-time, he could have actually taken care of a lot more things. Maybe with a salary like this, he would have stayed and he would have ran again and he would have been the mayor. But he had a job where he was getting paid a lot more than that salary, whatever it originally was, $50,000 or $75,000. So as my council colleague said, for you to quit your job to come and take another job, you basically have to be retired to kind of be able to do that. Who knows, maybe Lanke will be enticed to come back and give us another term. But that would be it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I think Councilman Patil put it perfectly. I think it was well expressed. I would just, I said most of what I needed to say at the last meeting. I would just add to that, that I think that the mayor's position has been grossly underpaid all this time. For a 35 square mile town as such as we have, where things can happen anywhere at any time, it truly is, it's more than full-time. This is often a 24/7 job, as our current mayor showed with the snow, and he was out at 4:30 in the morning. But that could be Mayor John Smith. It doesn't matter. As has been stated, it's not about merit. It's about the position. And this position is really deserving of $199,000. I agree with my council colleagues on this, and I'm happy to support this. Thank you. And with that, can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Brusher.
Yes.
Councilmember Coyle.
Yes.
Councilmember Patel.
Yes.
Councilmember Patil.
Yes.
Councilmember Hoyer.
Yes.
Councilmember Shmuel.
Yes.
Council President Harris.
Yes. Okay. Madam Clerk, can you read the ordinance for 2269?
Ordinance approving the application for long-term exemption and authorizing the execution of a financial agreement with Fairway Country Club Urban Renewal LLC concerning the property known as the proposed Block 412, Lot 5.04, commonly known as 1000 Inman Avenue.
Thank you. We can open for public comments. Yes, Joel?
Joel Bassoff, Beach Lane. So this ordinance raises some questions. So first of all, I noticed that in 2025, the property paid almost $61,000 in taxes. So under this ordinance, how much would the developer pay in lieu of taxes? And how much of a tax break does that represent compared to what the tax would be on the true market value after the property is developed? And why does the tax break have to be for 30 years? So even if a tax break is appropriate, why wouldn't 10 years be plenty? Why would we be binding future generations to this deal? And is it correct that the school district under this ordinance wouldn't get any tax revenue from the property for the next 30 years? And I understand that it's senior housing and it won't produce school children, but commercial and industrial property they don't produce school children, yet they still pay school taxes. So if this property is not going to be paying school taxes, then the school district is just going to have to raise our taxes by an equivalent amount. And I'd note that Edison has an affordable housing obligation now of more than 1,000 units according to the latest Superior Court decision. So how many of the units in this project will go to satisfy Edison's affordable housing obligation? And if the answer is none, why is that? So those are my questions.
A lot of questions. All right. Did you
Big
make
ordinance.
note of some of those? So the developer paying in lieu of taxes. What was the question? What was the question? How much?
Would the developer be paying in lieu of taxes under this deal?
I'm not entirely certain. I don't have it in front of me, but I know that.
We haven't determined that. This is just simply the agreement in order to establish the project itself. So that will, again, then be forthcoming.
So open question, if I heard it correctly.
You asked why 30 years.
That's the statutory guideline. So if they don't have an agreement in place yet, it could be up to 30 years because that's what the statute allows.
So it could be less if I heard
Yeah,
you correctly.
if they haven't put together an agreement yet, this is simply the ordinance authorizing entering into the ability to enter that agreement.
Correct. It's the ability to the mayor to be authorized to enter into that agreement.
Okay. You asked how many units would be, if any, are in affordable housing.
Again, it's part of the agreement. It needs to be discussed at length.
Council President?
Yes.
From what I remember in the documents, I'm going to approximate whether it was 49 or 60 or 59 to 62. So it's about 60, just as an approximation, from what I recall.
Right. Either way, the requirement is 20%. So 20% of don't quote me on the number, maybe 250, 251, give or take.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And school taxes.
Oh, and the taxes with regard to school?
Well, that's just the way that the pilot programs work, is that there's not a designation specifically to the school. That doesn't stop the township from taking any of those funds and potentially sharing it with the school district or undergoing projects with the school district. It just cuts out the designation of how those are paid to the township rather than through the state tax mechanism.
Thank you. Thank you, Joel. Anyone else?
Council President,
Oh, yes. Councilman Patel?
I think I also wanted to add that because that we're doing the pilot, the school formula, I think Councilman pointed this out, that the state formula that they use to fund our schools would mean that our schools got less in that formula, so they'll get more benefit from the state. And so that, in a way, kind of works out, and that's why Woodbridge gets more school aid than us, because they have a lot more pilot programs. And I think Woodbridge also gives more money to the school from the township side as some projects and stuff. But it's a good way to get some more money from the state.
Thank you.
Council
Thank you.
President?
Yes, Councilman Brescher.
I believe what I'm going to say is true, but when you do a pilot program, the original tax base on that property, the school still receives that tax. They just don't receive the taxes on the improvements that were made. So the original taxes that they're getting today from that property, they'll continue to get that forever. This project in particular, I love, and I know it's additional housing here, but because I heard originally they were going to do like storage units, like a storage facility.
Councilman, can we have you make
yeah.
those remarks during council comments? Thank you. All right, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I only have one question. People are mentioning that this is a pilot program, and from what I'm hearing tonight, the tax value to the schools are different. Then what is our benefit to the township for going along with this, is what my question is.
Just so that we're clear, pilot just stands for payment in lieu of
Payment
debt.
in lieu of taxes,
Yeah,
that I know.
okay. Just-
So
I just wanna
payment
make sure
in
we're all
lieu
on the
of
same page.
means what are we gaining or losing?
Council President?
Yes.
So in a particular project, when there's a lot of environmental damages and it's really hard for a developer to come in and revamp that property. So in this case, that site is one of the most heavily environmentally damaged site in Edison. And if someone were to come in and start a project, it would require a lot of upfront cost, and it makes the project unsustainable and not necessarily anything going to happen to that property. So there's less likely anything that will change in that property. So then in 20 years' time or 30 years' time, we will have exactly what we have, the status quo, and we'll be making $67,000 every year. And that's fine if that's what we want as a town. But if we can get a pilot program going, what this essentially does is we offer them a tax break to help them take this to the bank and say, hey, you know, this project can be workable, can be profitable, and the bank can give them a loan to essentially allow them to assess and revamp the area from the environmental damage and allow us as a township to benefit by upgrading that property into a more revenue-generating property. And also, it's a benefit in this sense is because we don't have any school children. That's one of the biggest worry that all the residents generally have, that we're making the schools more crowded. But in this particular situation, we have to really worry about that. So I think this is a win-win. And that is the main reason for doing the pilot, the environmental damage aspect of it. If it was a clear-cut property and there was no issues with it, I'm sure plenty of developers would have jumped on it and already started working on it. But unfortunately, without this pilot program, this project would have never gotten started and completed, and we would have essentially been stuck with that. And I think that's the...
I've lived across the street from there, and that area has been cleaned up at least 3 or 4 times over the 42 years that I've lived there. They're probably just finishing the job.
I'm not too sure on the details, but there was a lot of environmental damage, and that they did do a lot of it. Testing and stuff, which I'm not, again, I can't give you the exact numbers, but that's what I have to know.
You explained it, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Joyce.
Jerry Ship Freeman, old paint factory. That was on that property the whole time. Pilot program, Mayor Mack, because I'm in Woodbridge like every morning. Mayor Mark got a performing arts center. He got a big recreation. I mean, he got tons of stuff. And you're telling us our only benefit is what? Our only benefit is from that pilot program is what? Because I'm looking at these other people and these other towns, and they're getting these grandiose things from their pilot program. And you're just telling me because the land is contaminated, that's all we get?
No, what I'm saying is we have the ability to change that property from the status quo to something more of a revenue generating. And I'm not saying that they got the art center and stuff from one pilot project. They have a lot of pilot projects. And if we accumulate a lot of these pilot projects and we turn some of these properties that are dilapidated and just sitting around and not making money, and we convert them as fast as Woodbridge does, then we should be able to collect more revenue, and that revenue down the road can lead to perform art project and any other good things that we want for town. But every good things require money. Nothing comes for free, unfortunately. So this is just a step in the right direction in that path. And I'm not saying this is the end, but this is the right step.
We're a little late to the party. I gathered that. And as I look around and I see other people with other pilot programs, and I see them as money-making places. It's like, for instance, for the ice hockey center, instead of having one, he has 2. You're making money every weekend from that. I really don't see anything but private entities all over this town, private people having things that do not relate to us being a part of it or gaining anything from it. But I see a lot of amusement being built here. So I don't know, even looking toward Menlo Park, they're talking about bowling alleys and stuff. I just keep seeing more stuff. Maybe my problem is that I just don't see but our gain from this, even though I'm 200% for the senior living down there, because I don't want Edison seniors and stuff to have to leave Edison because they can't afford their taxes or anything like that. But I want a little more for if we're gonna have pilot programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Bruce?
Bruce Seitz. First, could I ask, can we get the volume turned up here on, not the temperature of everybody is very good tonight, but we need to turn up the volume, okay? We can't hear half of it. If someone's
Yeah, it is,
talking to the side or someone's reading notes, it's very hard to hear.
Roger, can we work on the
I mean, we've got a
volume
good
and
sound
at the
system here.
podium?
Let's raise it a notch or two. Okay, regarding this ordinance, first of all, everything Nish said, he's on top of it, and I agree with what he said. I just want to use as a frame of reference, okay? My family had property up in Bergen County, and it was contaminated, and we got involved with selling it, okay? And we had to look at present value versus future value versus how much the cleanup would cost. As she had just said before, maybe this is in the last stages of the cleanup. I recall, oh, it's louder now, good. I recall that at one of the meetings, the builder had made a comment that they're not going to make money on it. Now, come on, no builder's going to go into something. They're going to make a lot of money on this. There's a lot of apartments, prices are up. It's going to be very desirable on Inman Avenue. And hopefully that additional couple hundred people will get a supermarket to come in where the Stop and Shop was. But I don't like this open-ended that we give them a 10-year tax break or 30 years or whatever it is, okay? I think it needs to be indexed. Part of the payout that I did several years ago was that depending on how profitable it will be, depending on how much money had to be put in the cleanup, they just can't say, well, the cleanup's going to cost $1 million. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. So I'm just asking or suggesting that we have some restraint on this and maybe index the profitability, okay? In business, you have your cost of goods, you have your profitability, you have your margins, you have different things on here. I just don't know, maybe I don't know what's going on there. John, you're shaking your head, but I think we really need to put some guidelines and index it. They're going to make money on this, and we shouldn't have to give them a long-term tax abatement that takes revenue away from the township. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Sue. I'm sorry, did you want to, I'm
Can
sorry.
I just address
Yes,
one
you
of his
can.
questions?
Yes, hold on.
The question in terms of the pilot revenue aspect, in terms of the actual payment, is based on the annual gross revenue that the project would have. So there is an index portion that you're talking about. It does increase over the following 2 decades. But to your point, that is built into how the pilot program is proposed, in that the revenue is the basis for the actual pilot payment. I had asked our legal how that's actually confirmed. There's an additional line item in there to actually pay for the audit of the project so that we will actually know what the return from the municipal side would be.
It's an independent audit.
Sorry.
Council President, I had a question for the lawyer. So there will be another step after this, right? Because this is just the beginning, and then there'll be another step, and they'll be brought back to the council, where we'll have a little more details.
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Sue.
Sue Malone Barber, 85 Pleasant Avenue. My question was actually related to what Nish just said. It feels like there's a lot of unknowns. So when we pass this ordinance, what exactly is it allowing to happen? There's no deal made yet, right? So is it giving the mayor or whoever's making the deal, is the mayor making the deal? Carte blanche for 30 years or whatever? Like, so we passed this, but we have no terms. So what are we passing?
There are terms.
Council Vice President?
No, there are terms. That's why I was just explaining about the annual gross revenue aspect, because that's the determination of the actual payment that the township would receive. The financial vendor that the township uses had produced a forecast, but that's just a forecast. You know, the actuals versus projection may vary. But in terms of
Why would it vary?
cost could increase, which decreases the actual net profit at the end of a project. General economic factors, that's presuming that that's the starting of the pilot would happen at the end of phase 1, if I recall. Maybe that phase 1 doesn't happen within a year. Maybe it ends up prolonging 4 or 5 years. So like you have a lot of different variables that could come up during that same time.
Okay, so I have more questions around that, but first I want to ask, how many units is it? 600?
No,
How
not even
many?
close. Is it 200 something? Yeah.
How many? I'm sorry.
250.
250, and of that, what would be affordable?
20%.
20%, and they're all rental units? They're not for sale, are they? Or they're not like, they're rentals?
I believe
So the
they're
developer will have
I think they're rentals.
ongoing income?
Yes.
Or are they being sold as like condos or
I
a
believe they're
co-op?
rentals. Am I right
You
about that?
believe they're
Yeah.
rentals?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, and the attorney believes that, another point, I feel like there's a lot that is not known here. So what will determine if they get a 30-year tax abatement or whatever we're calling it versus a 10? Especially when the contribution, yes, Nish, we are reusing the land, that's good. But I don't think the developer would be entering into this if the remediation was so onerous that he couldn't build or they couldn't build apartments on it, you know, residential apartments on it. So I feel like there's a lot unknown here. And my question is, are you going to see this again? That's a big question for me.
I'm not sure what that question, what do you mean by that?
Are you going to see the agreement? Do you get approval on the agreement?
Yeah.
That's part of the backup with the.
I'm sorry, John. I
That's
can't
part
hear
of the
you.
backup with all of the information is the actual pilot agreement. Like the length of terms, the annual
Well,
gross
it's up
revenue
to,
aspect.
right? But what determines
No,
that?
it's a 30-year
It's
agreement.
up to so many years. So what determines, is it 30? Is it 10? Is it
No,
20?
it's 30 years. Nothing else has indicated
It's,
otherwise.
it is 30, it's going to be 30 years.
That's what the ordinance is for.
So there is an agreement.
Yeah, that's.
Council President, there's an agreement attached to the ordinance, and I think if everyone could just refer to that. And I actually apologize, I misspoke. It is also, not just rental, there is a 15% ownership here, sale.
Oh, okay.
I just want to, for the record.
Thank you.
Correct that. But the agreement is attached. All of the terms are,
This is the financial agreement
The
portion of
financial
it.
agreement,
There
correct.
is still other agreements that need to be hammered out with
Correct.
the developer. Correct.
and this is.
I think
this-
that's where some of the confusion is coming from.
Right, and this is to establish probably their financials in order to get the proper funding to start the build. Otherwise, they can't proceed if they're on their end.
Yeah, there's going to be more to this, Sue. There's going to be, but this is just about the financial agreement. There's going to be more to come once, if a financial agreement, if this ordinance is approved. Okay?
Okay.
Council
All right,
President.
thank you. Yes.
These units this proposal is age-restricted units? Age-restricted?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Thank you. Okay. Yes, sir.
Motion to close the public.
No.
All right, again, I apologize for my lack of knowledge about what's taking place in Edison. I've been dealing with a lot of other towns and stuff like that, and I haven't been keeping up with this. But just, am I understanding that correctly? There's a 30-year tax exemption?
Yes.
No, it's not a tax
No.
exemption.
It's not an exemption. It is, so when you do a pilot, it is both to encourage growth and to set a certain expectation for the developer so that they have an abatement on their taxes, but that abatement is really to set a level of certainty. They know how much of the project going forward is going to be devoted to paying those taxes. Kind of removes that uncertainty of the yearly reassessments, reevaluations, sudden spikes in the cost of property taxes, so that one year it may be, oh, I paid on a $1.9 million development. The next year it's a 3.8, and the market is what determined that. So rather than that, it sets out a set financial obligation for that course of 30 years that is pegged to and calculated against revenues generated by the project itself, so that a developer who's coming in to develop a project like this that has significant upfront costs and environmental cleanup can be certain of making a profit off of the development and knowing what that profit will be. And then if that developer decides that they can sell it or move on or go on to other projects, they have this squared away and in the books under an agreement that's already been laid out, rather than the vagaries of what the future might hold.
Okay, so exemption is not the right word then?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, it works out to be less than they would pay if they were taxed normally. But that's also fairly speculative based upon what we know about how property taxes work and how property values and assessments work. So it's better to think of it as a certainty of payment and obligation to the township for the next period of time. There's no one word that really works for it other than understanding what a pilot is.
Yeah, no, I think pilot program, I think they're all scams personally. It's just a way to make developers, get rich, not have to put up money up front and stuff. And what winds up happening is they get these exemptions, these 30-year exemptions happening all over New Jersey, and the taxpayers are the ones who have to foot the bill. And that's what always winds up happening. So I think it's just a scam personally, but I may not know what I'm talking about, but that's just, how I interpret it.
Yep. And exemptions do happen, but this is not an exemption from payments.
Council President?
Yes, Councilman?
Point of order, Council President, is we finished with the public portion?
I'm sorry?
We finished with the public portion?
I don't know. Councilman Brescher, were you going to be responding to?
I was, but I could do it during council comments also.
Oh. Okay. Anyone else from the public? Okay. A motion to close?
Motion to close the public portion?
Second?
I'm sorry, Councilman Brescher.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Oh, we don't have to do that. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Let's go to motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt. Second.
Okay. And council comments.
Okay.
Yes.
A couple things. When we talked about, pilots came up quite a bit. And the reason, I think, is the public doesn't understand pilots because all pilots are different, and they can be set up differently. I can only comment, I believe we did one pilot, and I believe when they showed me the numbers for it, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to make these numbers up, but it was something like this. The property should have generated $300,000 in taxes per year. The first 4 or 5 years, it was going to generate $240,000 in taxes, so it was going to generate $60,000 less. But as you got closer after 10 years, it was generating more than the $300,000. So at the end of the day, the township was going to receive more money in taxes, but it was over the 30-year period. And the reason for that is if you had a developer and they upfronted $2 million to clean up a piece of land, they're looking to recoup that, not over 30 years, but as soon as they can. And then on the back end, they're hoping that their rents go up, and that also then will cover that additional taxes later on. So at the end of the day, the numbers kind of worked out for us here. I don't know that they do for every town and every pilot, but I know here they did when we checked into them. This property in particular, I felt strongly that we should do residential because originally it was going to be like a storage unit. That's where they were going with it, because they didn't have to clean up the ground to the same standard as they did for residential, because residential is a lot stricter. So that had to cost them a couple $1 million extra to clean up the ground. To me, it's more important for us to clean up the pollution we have in this town. And if that meant that we had some additional homes, you know, it was like, okay, let's swallow the poison pill. They did propose to do 55 or older, which I love the idea, because as someone that's approaching my seniors, or maybe I'm there already, I'm no longer looking to have my home or have a house that big. I'm looking to do more like the townhousey type of thing. And we don't have anything here in Edison. So there was nothing in that kind of range. We also have our COA requirement, which they're dealing with, and they're taking part in that, because senior housing is part of our affordable housing, which is a good thing. So there were many good aspects to it that I really did like. You know, when we asked about the schools and the schools not receiving their money, they do receive the base money. They just don't receive the money afterwards. I was on the school board, okay? And when I was on the school board, I advocated for the school board. And now I'm on the council, I advocate for the council. For the residents here, I don't think you guys really care who goes in your pocket, whether it's the school board or the township. So that money the township's gonna get. You know, we had an argument with the school board, I remember, because the town doesn't pay the school board as per law. They pay them like monthly, not quarterly. So the school board could actually be making $500,000 in interest on that money if it were sitting in an account. But at the end of the day, again, to the taxpayers, it doesn't matter whether the town has the $500,000 or the school has the $500,000. You as the taxpayers, you're paying the combined bill of the township and the school. So, you know, as far as the school not getting that extra money, it also has seniors. So it doesn't have children that's actually putting the stress on the schools. So I don't even feel that that's egregious here. I mean, the whole thing actually does look good to me, except for more traffic maybe by one of our residents. But, you know, maybe if we get that bus thing going, maybe that'll help. So I overall, I'm in favor of it. I like it. I wish this wasn't in front of us now. I wish it was in front of us 2 years ago, and I wish that everything was done and people were living there at this point. But, you know, government works a little slower, so thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else? Councilman Coyle?
Council President, I'll be brief. I was listening to a comment, what's known and unknown to this project. For those who are unaware of it, it's been a property that's sat for 35-plus years. We didn't receive much tax revenue at all, so that's known. All right, it's sat contaminated for decades, that's known. 35 years, I know, involved, and probably more for other people. I'm not saying some people are older than me, but definitely for that. So we didn't receive much at all, and it was contaminated, and that could be a big problem for the environment. What's known is tomorrow, this agreement will move this project forward, investing $50+ million to develop it. What's known is we will have a tax revenue over the next 30 years. So yesterday we got very little, tomorrow we'll get much more. So these are facts. So what's known and unknown is the wrong opinion. It's known this will be a big change. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Coyle. Anyone else?
Council President?
Yes, Councilman Patil.
And I fully support this ordinance. I think, you know, we are a little late, and I always say it is better to be late than never. These projects was supposed to be done probably 4 years ago. Many people have the concern about the pilot, but I'll tell you in a nutshell, in a simple way, there is no impact to the taxpayers. The taxes will be received, whether it is received by the town, it is split to the board of ed and all that, that's all internal. At the end of the day, the taxpayer pays one bill. So that is not impacted. So it's a good project for the community. We'll have some co-obligation fulfilled. We'll have the vibrant community around. And of course, you know, we'll have the clientele for the, you know, the shoppers market that you are looking at on the Inman Avenue. And in a nutshell, I'm pretty sure once this project is complete, the neighbors will also appreciate, their house values will also go up. It's going to be a vibrant community, and so I'll be supporting this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Council President.
Yes, Councilman Shmuel?
I too, I agree with my colleagues. I like this project a lot, actually. I remember 15 years ago driving my kids to the nearby pool and seeing that property as an eyesore, and I'm glad that it's finally getting developed. What I like about it also is that it's senior housing, which age-restricted senior housing, which doesn't put pressure on our school system. So it's the added revenues over time without the added pressures on our schools. So I'm going to be fully supportive of this ordinance and this project. Thank you very much.
Shmuel? Okay, anyone else?
Council President?
Yes, Council Vice President.
Thank you. I think that there are a lot of goods associated with the project. I'll be honest, the projected cost of the project, I personally think are lower than what they're going to be, and we're talking 8 figures plus, without getting into proprietary information. So the level of investment that's going to be needed on this project, to me, is just, it's immense. It's been focused a lot on the contamination aspect of it, but it should also be known that it's right near a wetland aspect. So there's additional DEP requirements that are going to be part of it. While from a total unit perspective, it might sound like a lot, when you break it out as a per acre amount of units per acre, it's not as intense as several other developments as we may be familiar with. And finally, the actual pilot projected payment compared to the projected conventional taxes, when you get to the later years, 26, 27, up to 30, the projections are that the actual pilot revenue would equal what the conventional taxes would be. Granted that a higher percentage of that would obviously go into the municipality side on that. So in reviewing it from those items, I think that is a good thing for us to do, and I will be supporting it. Thank you, Council President.
Councilman Patel?
Council President, yeah, like my council colleague said, the only real downside I see is the traffic, and I wish we could solve that too, but everything else is a win, and I'm happy to support this.
Thank you. For myself, I'm not actually even that worried about the traffic because we're talking about this is going to be essentially senior housing. I compare it to the old Goulton property that's going to be, I don't remember how many units that's going to be on Durham and Metuchen. And I think about the fact that those are those are way beyond what this particular senior housing is. And I dread, the opening of this, I hear, is about January 15th, and I dread what the traffic is going to be looking like on Durham. So I fully support this. I think we need the senior housing. I don't think it's going to be a traffic nightmare on Inman. I will miss the golf range. I use the golf range there, but I think this makes a load of sense, and I do hope that this advances and goes off the ground. So I will be supporting it as well. And with that, can we get a roll call?
Councilmember Brusher.
Yes.
Councilmember Coyle.
Yes.
Councilmember Patel.
Yes.
Councilmember Patil.
Yes.
Councilmember Pointer.
Yes.
Councilmember Shmuel.
Yes.
Council President Harris.
Yes. Thank you. All right, now we go to ordinance 2270.
Page. An ordinance amending Article 5, Boards, Commissions, Committees, and Agencies of Chapter 2, Administration of the Municipal Code.
Thank you. Open for public comment?
No, we have to amend this.
What? Oh, where's the amendment?
The one we're going to amend.
Where?
This is the ordinance we're amending.
Okay, okay.
So we have to say what amendment and vote, right? Because the public comment would be on the amendments.
Right, okay. So where's the amendment on this?
We're going to amend it as taken out.
Okay,
Municipal,
all right, so are we,
taking out section 1. You're going to be removing section 1. So section,
Oh, good.
we're removing 2-1.08 2-1, yeah, 2-108.1,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's municipal lines in section 1 through Alliance. Well, that's cable. Where's the line? Right here. 2 through 2-108.8. Is that correct?
2-108.1 through 2.108-8.
2-108.8, yep.
Right. So how are we presenting this?
That's going to be removed from the ordinance.
Okay, so we are removing on this ordinance,
Municipal lines.
this is Municipal Alliance, 2-108.1 through 2-108.8. And then what do we do? What's this?
So now we need a vote on the amendment.
All right, so,
Council President? If I
yes.
may. It is not an omission of what's here. It is simply just maintaining what was in terms of municipal alliance.
Okay.
I just want to.
Okay, all right. So,
Council President, I wanted to remove the entire ordinance. I just think it's,
I-
we should table it. Council President,
yes, Councilman Coyle.
and this, we may not be able to do this, but clearly it doesn't matter whether we do this today or January. This, and this Councilman Pointer is something different, but I've read through this. I prefer we just table it to next year, only because I'm concerned with different grants we may be applying for that may need an ordinance of a committee valid. And I haven't finalized my, research on that. I mean, I was just going to play it out that if I needed one, we would readopt that committee and put it back on. But if we're sitting here
Want to
going
make
back
a
and
motion
forth,
to table?
I'd make a motion to table this.
I'll second it.
Okay. Wait, so you need to, can you second it in the microphone, please? Thanks.
Yes, I'll second it.
Okay, all right.
Motion to table
Or
the
make,
whole ordinance.
okay, and is that a roll call or not a roll call?
Motion to table by Councilman Foyle,
Yes.
second by Councilman Brusher.
And we're doing a roll call?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Councilmember Brusher.
Yes.
Councilmember Coyle.
Yes.
Councilmember Patel.
Yes.
Councilmember Patil.
Yes.
Councilmember Pointer.
Yes.
Councilmember Shmuel.
Yes.
Council President Harris.
Yes, the motion is tabled, the ordinance is tabled. All right. All right, we move to public comments on the resolutions only. I'm sorry? What? Yes, it's being tabled till January. Comments on the resolutions? Resolutions only? Bruce, did you want to come? This is on the resolution, so this would be on resolutions 676 through 715. Well, if you have questions or comments about the resolutions, you can come on up and specifically name which resolutions you're commenting on. Okay. All right, can you speak into the microphone?
Oh,
And,
thank you.
and give your name again?
The one, two,
Bruce, can you just give your name, you're speaking again, can you give your name and address, please?
Bruce Seitz, 88 Parkgate Drive.
Thank you.
Resolution authorizing the award of contract.
What number is that, Bruce?
122025.
Wait, what?
The first three numbers of the resolution are the identifiers.
Yes.
708
All right,
122025.
okay, just the 708, yes? Okay.
I just wanted to ask a question, and I have a client that's in a recycling business, and I don't know if this is fact, fiction, or whatever, but a lot of the recycling now isn't being done. There's no room for it. China is not taking recycling, and a lot of the recycling is being put into public dumps, into the regular disposal areas. So if that be the case, are we paying for recycling that won't be going to recycling? So that's just, I'm trying to open it up because of things that I've heard and some issues in the public domain.
Okay, can you?
And then I have
hold on.
one other after this.
All right, hold on one second. To answer Bruce's question, what, sorry?
Council President, just to be fair to the speaker, if they could just cover all their questions,
Okay.
and I'd gladly answer them.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Bruce. What was the other resolution?
The other one was 122025.
No, we need just the first three numbers.
695-122-025.
695, okay. And what is your question or comment?
Just a question on this. Has there been any analysis or reconciliation on the sports center? It's been 3 times the original cost, and now we see another $600,000. So if I could ask a silly question, who's minding the store on this one, having gone up from $5 to $15 million?
Okay. Did you have any other questions on resolutions?
No.
Okay. Council Vice President, you look like you're at the ready to answer
Thank
this.
you, Council President. Just a point of clarification, it's not 15 million. I know people have been trying to associate the sports building with the turf fields. They are separate projects. This project is at 12.7. It is 13% over the lowest legally responsible bid that we originally did. By law, you can't go over 20%. So I just wanted to make those clarifications. Thank you, Council President.
Right. And on his first question about the first question that he had.
The first question he had is correct, that with the China not taking in recycling, we obviously are paying into recycling. But what we've done is, as you know, we've opened up the recycling center, so that's been helpful, and we use the county for those services. So we are trying everything in order to make it accessible to residents to properly recycle and use county services.
Thank you. All right. Yes, Sue.
New library trustees, 686 and 687.
686 and 687.
Who are they? What are their qualifications? Where do they live in Edison? My understanding is it's illegal for these nominations to get final approval. According to Municipal Code 2-210, final approval at this meeting, under no circumstance shall the nomination and the appointment of a candidate occur simultaneously. I feel like the public uses the library and pays for the library, and we should have an opportunity to review the resumes and comment on who gets appointed to the library board. As you know, it's the fear in Clara Barton still hangs out there that we could lose our building. So this is kind of really important to us. Should I keep going? You want to answer those questions first? Okay. Then 695. Will this 604,000, I think it brings the total for the steel building to 12 million. Is that it now? So that's that question. And then same thing with the Tote Center, R699. Can you tell me what is driving the 13.5% increase on that original contract, and why is it $715,000 over what was initially thought?
Okay. All right, those three resolutions? Those are the questions?
There are 4, 686, 687 for the library board, 695 and 699.
Yeah, I counted 686 and 687 as one. All right, let's start with the question about the approval of these appointments before the beginning of the year. Council, can you, the library board?
I'm not sure that was her question, but certainly we can approve them before the beginning of the year. There's no, as we, I believe, established last year, there's no holdover positions at the library board unless you just want to have a gap for however long it takes to renominate and select. You would nominate those individuals to fill those vacancies immediately.
Sue, was that
That
your
wasn't a
question?
question.
I don't think that was her
The
question.
question was whether-
why are we introducing and approving them at the same meeting? The Municipal Code 2-210, under no circumstance shall the nomination and the appointment of a candidate occur simultaneously. So in other words, we have you guys had a chance to review them? We would like a chance to know about them. And does this municipal code not apply? Introduce and then approve at a later date?
Council, yeah.
So I'm pretty good. I don't have that off the top of my head, but if you give me a few minutes just to review it, I can have a potential answer for you very quickly. If you want to move on to our other questions first, and then I will come back to you on that.
Sonia, do you have any information on this?
In terms of the appointments?
In terms of, well, the first thing about the fact that Sue feels she hasn't seen the backup. Is there backup information? Are there resumes and applications available?
There are. They're
They are.
included in.
Okay.
Yes.
Where are they? Sorry.
Okay.
They're included in the packet.
Yeah. So they are available. We have seen them.
The resumes are in the
I'm sorry, Sue.
No,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Your time is up. We're going to do the best to answer the questions. Go ahead.
So I believe under 2.210, what they're talking about there is nominations by council people for vacancies that are filled by the council. Those can't be done within one meeting where you nominate to fill a vacancy.
These
that
are
the
mayoral
council's-
appointments.
These are mayoral
Yeah.
appointments. Those only have to be brought to the council's attention 7 days prior to the meeting at which the action is to take place. That's why I wanted to review, just to make sure that I had the ordinance correct in how it laid out the difference between what's a mayoral appointment and what is a council appointment. So the short version is there's no issue with that because it's a mayoral appointment.
Okay. Her next question was about 695. I believe, to quote you, Sue, is that it? Was the question with regard to the change orders?
As far as the change order for the sports building, I believe this is the final change order for the sports building as it relates to this contract. So it's about $12 million. So, and I believe that we've answered that before. Anything outside of that, as far as furniture, as previously mentioned, that's under separate costings. For the Toth Center, so as you all may recall, there was some remediation that needed to be completed, so it did extend the project about 2 years or so, and so we needed to remediate. So what that did, once we awarded the contract, it delayed any of the contract work that needed to be done, including new architectural designs. So as you all know, that we had issues with the prior architect, so we required a new architect to be on staff here to redesign the building. So those things required and are here because of the change order is here because of those issues that we had dealt with in the past.
Okay. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Joyce.
Joyce Ship Freeman, Edison, New Jersey. Every time I think of that building, I think that we should have went with the Amish. We probably could have had it done by now. It's not but a flat slate. It's not no big detailed place. It's very, very minute, whatever it is. But I just want to know about the resolution 682. Why are we authorizing the cancellation of grants?
Any other questions?
No, because she asked other questions about the 2 library appointments, and he already stated the answer that it's the mayor's choice.
Yes.
So the whole board, you know, when
Okay.
we were sitting there before,
Okay.
we had the opportunity to say no to some different ones, but I'm fine. I just like looking at resumes of people, like I stated to you before. You know, a lot of people make a lot of money, and you ask them questions. I get it bothers me that you're making this exorbitant salary and you can't answer a question correctly.
All right.
Okay, so I just want to know about the cancellation of the grants.
Okay.
Council President?
Yes.
So these are just leftover funds that were not used for old grants, about $9,000.
Mhm.
Collectively, over 4 grants.
Okay. All right.
So is it $9,000 or is it $4,000?
9,000 collectively,
It's
over 4
9,000
grants.
worth of grants that we don't want anymore.
We've used the funds. This is just leftover funding.
Okay, all right. We got so much money, we can just cancel it and give it back. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on resolutions? Okay. A motion to close.
We have one more.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Liz, sorry.
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I'm going to go and ask one more question regarding Resolution 699. I realize when you undertake large projects, changes do occur over the time period, but this seems to be, we're up to change order number 7, and I just question the knowledge of the people we're hiring. It sounds like you had a company, and now another company's coming in and we're changing everything. Do you start over, or you just completely keep changing things from the original plans, is my question.
Okay. That's it? That's your question? I'm not sure how to answer that.
So
Sonia?
we are, just for clarification purposes, are we discussing the changes that were made to the architectural design? Because that was part of the issue with why the change order is in front of all of you. So with those changes to make sure that the building is, I'm sorry,
Go ahead, go ahead.
so in order for the building itself to be compliant, we needed to make sure that the architectural designs were on par, and so we needed to hire a new architect.
Okay. Council Vice President?
Thank you, Council President. Most of the original change orders dealt with the environmental aspect of the property. We had to do more soil testing, that I recall. Actually, we had to do that like 2 times over, because the first time came back with something that the DEP said we need to have more testing. I think that was like from 2 and number 3. Number 6 kind of is the restart up of the total project, given those delays. Number 7, the backup information has some of those discrepancies of what's shown on the architectural drawings versus on-site conditions. For example, one of the images I saw showed like the layout of where the foundation wall and the footings are supposed to be, and it's not where it's shown on the drawings, for example. So it's some of those items that are being addressed with these change orders, but the initial ones primarily dealt with the environmental aspect of the property.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right.
Motion to close.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He raised his hand, I'm sorry.
I was letting Liz go first, because I'm not a resident, so out of courtesy, I was letting the residents go first. No, to be quite honest, there's 40 resolutions here, and there's only 4 minutes, and point of even talking anyway, right? So I won't waste any time. 40 resolutions, a few things I want to touch on, 4 minutes. That's the point, right?
Okay. All right, anyone else? Yes, AJ.
Ben's from Edison. I'm just gonna be straight up with this, with the resolutions from 676 all the way down to 715. Let's make good judgment, and if anyone wants to table it or take something out, go ahead. I have nothing else to say. It looks good.
I'm not understanding. Can you speak directly into the microphone? It's.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay. Do I have to redo it again, or?
Yeah, could you, please?
Okay, absolutely. So as I was saying, for the resolutions for 676 and 706, that's a lot of resolutions. If you guys want to table or take something out, go ahead. Looks fine, but make good decisions when we approve this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? All right, can we get a motion to close?
Motion to close the public portion?
Second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, would anyone have any of the resolutions they want to pull for a separate vote?
695.
Sorry?
695.
695, okay. All right, 695, anyone else? Okay, let's look to approve, so we want to approve R676 through 694, and then 696 through 715. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Can you go second?
Second.
Okay, can we get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Brescher.
Yes.
Councilmember Coyle.
Yes.
Councilmember Patel.
Yes.
Councilmember Patil.
Yes.
Councilmember Pointer.
Yes.
Councilmember Shmuel.
Yes.
Council President Harris.
Yes. Okay, Councilman Brescher, take it away.
Well, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I think I pulled the wrong one.
Oh, come on.
But I'm going to speak about this anyway. They're kind of related. I was really looking at the other one for the for Lero, and I'll tell you where we had concerns with this building because we hired an architect and we also hired them to oversee it, and with that came a lot of problems. Whereas if this could be broken up to where from now on, when we do projects where it's overseen by like a construction management firm. And I know we've talked in the back about that, so that you have somebody watching over somebody else that's actually doing the design and somebody's not trying to cover up for it. I think we can alleviate a lot of change orders in the future. And I know, like I said, we did this, we talked about it, but I'd like to see if we can get the administration looking at that moving forward this year, where we break that up into two separate contracts, the one watching over and the one that's actually doing the designing. And like I said, it wasn't for this one, that was for the other one that I had.
Okay.
But overall, it's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, all right.
Council President?
Yes.
I would also like to echo what Councilman Drescher said. I think it's not related to this one, but the other project on 694, we are hiring another firm that's also overseeing their own work, and I don't think they're incentivized to find anything wrong. I would like for us to hire an independent project manager, as Councilman Brescher suggested, that will be liable for the completion of the project to a certain degree, so that they are incentivized to make sure that the project is complete from the start and finishes on time and on budget. And maybe we can incentivize them with maybe a bonus if they can get that done, because that would certainly be a lot less money spent than the constant change orders, and we might be able to get this done faster, so we would also save time, and time is also money. So yeah, I would really encourage the next council to make sure any projects has a separate independent construction manager attached to it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we're talking about 695, right? Okay, can I get a motion to approve Resolution 695?
Rich?
I move to approve it.
Can you make a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 695.
And Councilman Coyle is the second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brescher.
Yes.
Councilmember Coyle.
Yes.
Councilmember Patel.
Yes.
Councilmember Patil.
Yes.
Councilmember Pointer.
Yes.
Councilmember Shmuel.
Yes.
Council President Harris.
Yes. All right. Now, oral petitions and remarks. Mr. Nagel. Oh, okay.
Madam President, I will yield to the Assemblyman.
Okay, Assemblyman Karabinchek, step right up.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Council President.
Can we have your name, please?
Rob Carabinch.
Thank you.
I'm a state assemblyman in Edison Township,
Okay.
greatest town in the state of New Jersey. Anyway, I came here to thank Nish, John, and Council President Margot for your dedication to Edison for the last 4 years. Civic duty is not an easy task at all. And you've seen it. You've seen the good, you've seen the bad, you've seen the ugly. However, you stood here and you've done your absolute best for everyone in Edison, whether they agree with you or they don't. And quite honestly, that is something that you should never forget. Your names will be in history here in Edison for perpetuity. And quite honestly, everything that you've done is so important to all of the residents here. How you handle them with decorum, with civility. That's what humanity should be like outside of here. I'd like to see this happen more often in our real world that we live in today. So I wanted to be here today. I wanted to be here a little early, but I got a chance to watch the whole meeting, which is brought back a long time ago when I sat up there. And quite honestly, the issues are a little different today, but the way you handled everything was exquisite. And your due diligence for everyone in Edison is impeccable. And all I want to do is I came up here especially for you to thank you for your time, your sacrifice, your personal sacrifices of your lives and your families that you put out, because most people think that you just come here and this is what you do. Well, I know the hundreds and thousands of hours you spend outside of these meetings, meeting with people, dealing with issues, dealing with one-on-one, answering the questions that come up here that you didn't answer tonight. And quite honestly, that's admirable. So you should walk away with your heads held high. You should be proud of what you've done, because I'm proud of you. As an Edison resident, I can't tell you how much I thank you. And quite honestly, have a great holiday, be safe, and thank you so much for what you do. Thank you, Council
Thank you so much. Thank you. See, this is why we need 6 minutes so that the assemblyman can continue talking about us. Okay, Mr. Nagel.
Steve Nagel, 19 Back Drive, Edison. I forgot rule number 1 and 1A. Rule number 1 is never follow an assemblyman. And 1A is never follow an assemblyman from Edison, because they're a par above everybody else. Rob, it's a pleasure for remarks, and thank you for your friendship over many years.
Thank you, Assemblyman.
I wanted to stand here for 3 purposes, and I will make them quick. Number 1, to thank you for tabling the resolution, the ordinance on removal of the municipal alliance. The municipal alliance is a very important part of the social fabric of every municipality in New Jersey. And if it's not working right, and ours works right in many ways, if it's not working right, though, we need to fix it and not eliminate it. It's very important to the health of our residents. And for those of you that are going to be there next year, please remember that, and hopefully in your review, you say, yes, this is important. It's comprised of volunteers. It's a revenue generator for the municipality. They get grants and awards. It doesn't cost anything. And I encourage the council people that will be there next year to please keep the Municipal Alliance as part of our social fabric of Edison. And speaking of things that don't cost the municipality anything, the Edison Human Relations Commission, of which I've had the pleasure of serving as vice chair for the last 2 years, and Maria Orchid has been serving as our chair, is reorganizing on Tuesday, January 13th, right here in the council chambers at 7 p.m. Any member of the community is welcome to all of our meetings are the second Tuesday of the month. Please come and visit. And my last point of being here was to thank our outgoing council people for their service. I'm friends with all of you. We haven't always disagreed, but we've never been disagreeable. And I hope that your path in public service doesn't end today. There's lots more to do and lots more people to serve, and I hope you'll continue to step up and work to improve the quality of people's lives. And I need to just take a special moment and recognize my dear friend Margot Harris. Margot and Harris we sat at a head table at the Edison Democratic Organization for years. Margot got to go up front, and I got to go in the back of the room, and I've waited 4 years to welcome Margot back to the back of the room. So, Madam Council President, you've served with honor and distinction, and on behalf of the residents of Edison, I thank you and Nish and John for your service. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, please be safe.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Sue.
Before I add some closing remarks, I don't see any attachments to Resolution 686, 687, or Ordinance, where is it? 2269. So when you say they're in the packet, does that mean attached to the agenda? Like I saw the resolution 2269 that the
That's our
agreement
packet.
should be Exhibit A. It's not on the agenda. I pulled from the website, and it's not in the books back there. So I'd like to see the library. I'd like to see all of that.
We can get that to you after the
Okay.
meeting. Okay.
And then I just want to finally say thank you for your service, Margot and John and Nish. It's never been easy, and I know that all of you led with your hearts, and you always wanted to do the right thing for Edison. We may not have agreed, but I think it's a tough job, and you did it with integrity, and thank you.
Thank you.
And John, especially thank you for the ordinance for Amboy Avenue. Even though the planning board did not follow it on Monday night, but thank you just the same. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you.
Nothing.
Joyce?
Joyce Ship Freeman, Edison, New
Council
Jersey.
President, point of order. Can we close the
Yeah,
back
can
door?
we close that back door? Thanks, Sackett.
Are you just going to say that?
Go ahead, Joyce.
I'd like to thank you, Margot, personally, before I speak, about freedom of speech and about our 6 minutes that I was so disappointed. Because you know, like I know, the women didn't even get the right, they got the right to vote after everybody else. Then in 1969 in Edison, New Jersey, we were just allowed to wear pants. Then women didn't get Title IX until 1972. Women didn't get credit, wasn't available for that until 1975. So if I'm telling you about free speech, read and read and read the women's voyage to get to where they are right now. All right, and that's why, the only thing that I did not like the most of all was the ability to take away somebody's privilege to speak. After you get dressed, you come home. A lot of you think that people are just leisure around when they're senior citizens. No. I go out most of the time. I feed people. I knock on doors. I make sure people have different things that they need because, as you know, it's a food desert on the north side of town. So I welcome what they're building for the seniors down there. Hopefully, before they even build, maybe they'll get some type of food, some type of something down there that they would have to get. It's a shame that you're there and you go, oh, I need an onion. I need a loaf of bread. Oh, I guess I have to get an Uber or something to go somewhere. You know, I just think that most of us are well enough off that sometimes we forget about other people who don't have the advantages that we have. And that part bothers me a lot also, because people don't think about other people. The way this world is going now, the way it's going, everybody's, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? That's all they're very concerned about. Now, I knew that it's a learning process, and I did like the part of John Pointer, Councilman John Pointer, explaining different things, because he would read information back and forth. A little disturbed with Councilman Nish Patel. I figure he's a young kid, he's learning. You know, I'm still very disappointed because I'm still waiting on an apology for throwing me out of a meeting when other people have done worse who were male, all right? I'm not liking that, but you know, I figure young people, I'll give them a chance to apologize. I think they need to just grow up a little bit. But the whole part that we're sticking our feet, I hope the new council says, what's the matter? We're seniors coming out late at night. Why we can't speak 6 minutes? We don't speak 6 minutes every time. But if you got 100 things or 40 things on here, or are we gonna do the Evelyn Wood speed reading contest and get all the information and try to get it back and forth? And a lot of times you ask questions of people. They don't give you answers. Like I tell you, I don't have a problem with people making nice salaries. I just want you to be accountable for your salary. I don't have a problem, because I'm from the public sector. I know when people get their evaluations and the stuff that they're doing more and they're increasing for the neighborhoods in Edison, you know, been here most of my life, you know, and I know that the information over there for the senior housing, I know that's contaminated. And he was saying, oh, it was eyesore. No, it was an eyesore when it was the paint, but they changed that a long time ago to the golf range that was down there. But I wish they would have spent the same amount of energy down there of trying to get something for the people to be able to eat or get something to drink. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce.
You know, Council President.
Yes.
Can I ask, Sonia, could somebody from the administration maybe reach out to the owner of our food desert, that we call it now, down on Inman? I think it was Shop and Stop was the last store that was there, to let them know that we're going to have additional units opening up down the street for seniors. And the reason why I say it is a lot of retail is based upon traffic that comes through, you know, and that might help them acquire a new tenant over there, you know, if they feel that there's going to be some additional customers. So yeah, if you can get somebody to reach out and just let them know, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And Council President,
Yes.
I'm thankful of our former council member, council president, going out to homes to help. And if you provide a list of those who you're helping today, I'm always feeling jolly, and I'll pass out some stuff before January. So see the clerk right after you go, and I'll help.
Thank you, Councilman Coyle.
Council President?
Yes.
I would like to personally apologize to our ex-councilwoman. Saying sorry does not make you small, and you know, I'm growing and I'm still learning, and I hope to be better.
Thank you very much. That's why, you know, I just.
Now, Joyce, your 4 minutes.
Your
Joyce,
4
your 4 minutes are up. Joyce.
I know I'm out of line, but.
Joyce. Thank you. Bruce.
As they say in the railroad business, I guess I'm bringing up the rear. Anyhow, I thought tonight's meeting was very good in the spirit of Hanukkah and Christmas, and everybody was very candid. I want to end with a couple of compliments and one or two other remarks. First of all, I want to say thank you to the whole council, okay? I don't think the people appreciate all the work that goes into it. If I'm looking at this just for tonight's meeting, there's a heck of a lot of work that goes into it in front of the camera and behind the camera. So thank you all. To the departing members, to Margot, to John, and to Nish, thank you. We've had differences of opinions over the years, and I've met and spoken with each of you privately. But the bottom line is we were all after the same end use of doing what's best for Edison. So again, thank you, and I'm not going to be repetitive. You've heard it a couple of times, and you guys deserve the compliments. Okay, number two, I have been on the cable committee for 6 years, 2 3-year terms. My time is up now, and I saw something that the cable committee is being disbanded. I could understand that. Optimum has made some very strong improvements over the years. I've asked them for a 2025 annual report, which they will give me in January, and I hope to present it like I did last year for 2024. And there's been improvements. Richie has been a big help also. Most of the other council members were inactive, which gets to one of the points I want to make, which is about the apathy in the township in certain areas. The mayor and all of you in the council have done a great job in terms of recreation, sporting events, education, and everything. And it's always been good turnouts at the water park, at all of the outings and everything. But we can't get people over here into the meeting to participate in government. So if there's, with everybody with the 3 different letters in government and everything, I came up with what I call IIP, and we could discuss it next year with the new council, if I could help, or we set up some sort of committee, because since March, all of you have been trying for the Citizens Advisory Board, and there were 3 applications. I spoke to Margot, and this is ridiculous. Doesn't anybody care? So maybe we should give this a thing. And I'm a marketing guy. Maybe I could help with you. We could do some promotion on it. But my 3 letters are IIP, which is create interest, get involvement, and then participation by more people. So if I want to use the couple of letters like that, to be the IIP program. One last thing, working and helping with a Bishop Dominic in Edison. Some of you may know them. Joyce is helping me out on this, and he set up a nonprofit, a 504c, which is called Inspiring the Youth of Edison. And it's going to be programs for 13 to 19-year-olds that need help in school, with family, managing their finances, social media, which lots of luck on that one. And you'll be hearing more from us then. I mentioned it to Joe Coyle on it, and maybe we get the Business Council and the Chamber of Commerce involved with it and get some support for this. And I think this would be really good. And there's also going to be a food bank involved with this. So
Thank you,
happy and healthy New Year's to everybody. Thank you again, and you are appreciated.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Okay, Maria.
Maria Orchid, 83 Jefferson. I'd like to say thank you for tabling the ordinance. I am a member of the Edison Municipal Alliance. We meet about every other month on Zoom. There's valuable programs that we accomplished. Through the grants, there's the BABES program, which helps 2nd and 3rd graders read as well as assist their families in time of crisis. Another program is the Bridges program and J.P. Stevens, which help at troubled youth. I'm sure if you wanted to find out what other things besides National Night Out, Touch a Truck, trick-or-treating, as well as there are other programs throughout the community that we assist in. We've also partnered with other like Catholic charities, mobile family units in time of crisis. Also, we had applied to get our terms updated. It says that we've expired on 2023, but that's not true. Also, I'm the chair of the Human Relations Commission. So asking anybody who wants to put in an application, we have some vacancies. We reach out to everyone of Edison, and we fight discrimination and bias. I'd like to thank you, Council President Margot Harris, for your dedication. Thank you, Council Vice President John Pointer, and thank you former council president of Nish Patel. I thank you so much for what you've done for this community, and we look forward to your future. Again, Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you. Yes, Liz?
Elizabeth Conway, 20 Netherwood Circle. I have 4 items I'd like to discuss. Number 1 is Inman Avenue. I've brought this up a number of times, talking about the traffic, and I'm actually hoping that this development that's taking over for the golf range, which is not an eyesore, will be similar to the Menlo Manor. I don't know the equivalence of the number of apartments available, but I know it won't be 500 cars. So, but it will be an addition to Inman Avenue. And I've been talking about the progress of Inman Avenue. I see there is some sort of work going on down further, but I haven't seen anything done about where Inman goes into Old Raritan. And still, when I go by, there's either backed up traffic or a problem with the traffic and cars deciding to come together at the same time. So, I'm not going to give up on that. The next thing is, I was glad to see that the committee ordinance was tabled. I would like the council to truly look at the list of committees and make them accountable for their titles. Like, for instance, the one that stuck out to me was the Cable Committee. Yes, Optimum was in charge for all those years, and we did have problems with them, but now we've brought in Xfinity with their group of problems, and I would like to see a strong cable committee stay on top of those 2 companies, and if not, bring in more companies. And if we look at each individual committee, I would love to see them become more active. Like, for instance, I'm on the Human Relations Committee here in Edison, and we still have never, in the years that I've been on it, had a full essence of people as committee members. And when I look at the list on the website, many of the committees have vacancies, and the people that are listed, their terms have been up. So I think we need to look into these committees a little bit more before we decide what we're going to do with them. Regarding the food desert on Inman Avenue, I did hear that that mall had been sold to a new company, and it would be great if someone could reach out to them and maybe add a little pressure as to what to do with the former Stop and Shop. Because if you want something rather quickly, you have to leave. In my area, you have to either leave to go to Colonia or leave to go to South Plainfield if you really want to do some food shopping. I'm sorry if you don't like what I'm saying, but that's okay. The other item is the 6 minutes. I've only got 49 seconds left, and I've left the best for last, but I truly realize this will never make me or other people happy. It sent other people away that they decided it's just not worth going. And I'm not going to give up, but hopefully the council in next year will realize, well, maybe they won't talk for 6 minutes, but they'll like the idea that we're giving them that chance. And that's what I look forward to. And in my last 14 seconds, which I have to call, have a happy holiday. And I thank you, Margot, John, and Nish, for putting up with the public for 4 years. And next year, come on the other side with your intelligence and your help. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Liz.
Yeah, I could have talked for 2 more minutes.
Thank you, Liz. Okay, AJ?
Good evening, Ben's from Edison. Do I have the floor, Madam President?
You do.
Thank you. Wow, 4 years ago, all you guys were in her shoes, including Mr. Porter. I don't know what happened to him. Did he leave?
No,
Oh.
I think he might be in the bathroom.
Reminds me of Joe, when I keep talking, you want to leave, like Christo, but let me stop, I'm done with the roasting. Let me stop roasting him for a second. He's been roasting too many times. Even Mr. Pressure's laughing. You already know what it is, but look, I think the 4 years that we had as our township, you know, a lot of things has changed, a lot. Like the flock cameras, I seen a crazy car chase, what was it, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, and on US 1, I've even posted about that on the Edison Residence page. I seen that literally right down the road. I guess the guy took off, but I need your help, Chief, to explain about that, because I seen it when the guy took off, but we can talk offline. But regardless, this council did a lot. We stopped the sex parlums. We stopped everything. We stopped the people who were stealing cars in our township. But regardless, it's still happening every day in every neighborhood. What else? You guys, basically, I'm just hoping, let's go back 1 year ago. If we go back to the water main break, that was the camel that hit its back in this township, and the resources I do remember out there with Sam and you guys, even Joe and Rich was there too, helping out. You see, this was Edison is about. We appreciate the people who fix our towns, our roads, who listen to us. The assembly, who was just here, you know, who was part of you guys many years ago. I didn't know that. So, me personally, I think this is the 3rd time I spoke. It was March, September, and now December. And I was very, very rare of speaking because of situations what's going on with the town. Council President, I give you props where props is due. I seen it all. I seen what you guys are seeing on Edison TV, and I'm mostly not here. I mostly have my soda, my popcorn, and watch the show and see what else is going to happen. But we are all family in this township. I hoping for 2026 that things change. I hope we get our 6 minutes. And if we do get our 6 minutes, that'll be great. But I think when I forgot to say this, we'll give you, Mayor Sam Joshi, we'll give you that raise. Well, we already did because we approved it, but if we didn't, we'd be saying, we'll give you that raise unless you give us our 6 minutes. You give us our, right? There you go. The people behind me are agreeing with me. So to everyone in this township, thank you for doing what you do best, from putting things together to make sure that we're all safe in this township. John Porter, Patel, oh my God, there's so many names. I can't remember, can't even mention or remember. Like, I'm tired. I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning, y'all. So, Happy New Year. I got 5 seconds. I yield back my time. Thank you, Council President. Thank you, everybody. Let's make Edison great again.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you. Yes.
All right, good evening, Council President. Good evening, Council. Anonymous. I came here tonight mostly because I wanted to thank you, Council President Margot. All the towns, all the municipalities that I've been to over the years, I thank you very much. I thank you for being kind to me, never writing me off, always having an open line of communication. And you are absolutely someone I admire in public service. Seen a lot of different things over a good period of time, and I hate to see you go. And I really admire the fact that you were willing to die on the 6-minute hill, and you made me proud multiple times. But standing firm on that touched me, and I know you did it for the residents, and It's what you've always done. You've always, in my opinion, done what's best for all the residents, regardless of political parties and this and that and stuff. So that's my main reason for being here. I wanted to say thank you, Margot. In my opinion, you are credited for the antics going away this year. I don't know if the rest of the board is even aware of that, but out of respect to you, I wasn't going to give you a hard time. You never deserved it. So I hate to see you go, and through the chair to Nish, you weren't here last time. It's been a few meetings since I've been here. But last time I had apologized to Mr. Poinier and you, but you weren't here. I apologized for like some name calling and, you know, stuff that didn't help over the course of disagreements and everything like that. As people, I generally think all of you are good people, to be honest with you. Even you, Joe, you know I hate your elected services and, you know, whatever, but we still talk, you know, we can deal with that. Saying guy on the right, I'm always going to call you guy on the right. You know why? Because you barely, you know, you barely ever, and I do a mental head check of the time, and you spoke for about 30 seconds tonight, you know, even though you took away time from the public. And I don't really want to spend much time on talking about all the disastrous things that happened, because I feel like it kind of diminishes a little bit of the thanks that I wanted to give to the council president. But I guess I can frame it like this. I thank the both of you for mistakes that were made, because what it did was it kind of, the spirit of public participation and input was at an all-time high when people from all over, like the country, really came here from places as far as like Texas, and you know, it was like one of the most amazing things to see. And in that situation, which is what it would always be if these rooms were packed, councils would remember who's in charge. They would remember who's the boss. So I thank you guys for those mistakes, because hopefully you're able to see for yourselves that as much as you're there to serve the public, the people are in charge. And so I'll frame it like that, because I don't want to be mean. I don't want to say anything mean. And we'll end it with, again, thank you, Margo. I appreciate you as a person, and I love your dedicated service to public service.
Thank you so much. Okay, anyone else? Okay. Oh, yes, sir. What's that?
Thank you. I'm using my 4 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Mancello doesn't allow this.
Thank you, that was most eloquent. All right, anyone else? All right, can I get a motion to close public portion?
Motion to close the public
Can I
portion.
get a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, okay. Let's go to, he's not here right now, the planning board, we'll come back to that. Reports from council committees, Councilman Brescher?
None at this time.
Okay. Anything, Councilman Shmuel?
Not at this time.
Councilman Patil?
None at this time.
Council Vice President?
None, Council President.
Okay. I don't know where the planning, all right. I have a report from the animal shelter. It's not complete because December is not over, but we had 22 cats that were adopted and 7 dogs adopted as of today. There are 11 dogs currently in the shelter and 30 cats currently in the shelter. And I just want to say that, just to piggyback on what Bruce said, that the Resident Advisory Committee, I'm really sorry that that has not gotten off the ground. The people who complain about things and conditions in Edison, you have an opportunity to step up and be a part of this committee and have your concerns heard and then presented. And I hope that in the new year, I hope that you will step up, that you will apply, you will step up and serve. We need people from all 3 sections, from North, South, and Clara. And I hope you make this committee a reality. And that's what I'm going to say to that. Points of light, any points of light? Where is everybody? Okay. Councilman Coyle, was there any report from the planning board?
I was not present, although you can watch the meeting on public television. Thank you.
All right. Points of light. Anyone?
Council President?
Yes.
I'm sure this will be reciprocated afterwards, but I just want to wish everyone that just celebrated Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. Everyone that's going to be celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas, and happy Kwanzaa as well. And Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Anyone else?
Joyce.
I have a point in mind.
Yes.
Well, first, I want to wish my council colleagues Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and thank you for serving. Although we may not have agreed sometimes, but I will say, over 4 years, you're going to look back to say, could have done more. It's going to crush your mind. And you don't have to say that, because you can truly account for not just one turf field, okay, but 2, baseball field and a football field. All right, a rec center, designed for the new Tote Center, Senior Center. You improved 27 parks, improved our public safety, both fire and police. These are facts. You can play any violin you want. You can listen to whatever story you may hear from the audience, but these are facts. So in the 20 years I've watched council meetings, in the 35 years I've been involved, a lot has happened in 4 years, a lot. And that's because we believed together in certain things we knew we had to vote for the public. So I'm proud that we worked together and we saw this for the residents of Edison, because it's truly a great accomplishment. So, I mean, everybody here on the dais voted for this as well, but you leave knowing in 4 years you got this done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Points of light? For myself, let me wish everyone also a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa. Joyce, you said there was one other thing, wasn't there? Three Kings Day. Okay, thank you. Three Kings Day. I also want to give a special shout out to my sister Judy. Today is her birthday, so I think she might be watching. I'm going to say happy birthday, Judy. It's now on record. It's official. It's going to be there in perpetuity. And happy birthday. I hope you're having a great day. We now move on to discussion items. And I'm sorry? Oh, okay, all right. This is for me, okay. Sorry, we have a few presentations. All right. No, no. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. Councilman Patel and Council Vice President Pointer, could you join me on the dance floor, please?
Thought you'd never ask.
Let's start with Councilman Nish Patel. Nish, it has been a pleasure. We started out as a team back in early 2021, and we've been through a lot together. And I remember campaigning. It was really fun campaigning with you. When I remember you would go to the door to door, and I remember you would introduce yourself. That what did you? I think you had said I'm Dr. Patel. Yes. And I said, let's kind of go with Nish. Let's keep it casual. But anyway, you went through some rough times last year as council president, and I know you've learned from it. And and we have worked so well together as a team, and we have formed friendships that are not going away. We might be going away from council, but these friendships are not going away. And so I want to thank you for all you've done. You've made us laugh. I'm speaking for you too, Council Vice President, but I'm pretty sure I'm on good ground here. You've made us laugh, and you have really shown how much you care. And so I want to present you with the token of appreciation from the town for your service.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And fun. Okay. To you, Council Vice President, this is kind of like in The Wizard of Oz. This is where at the end Dorothy says to Scarecrow, I think I'm going to miss you most of all. Council Vice President Pointer, I think all of you have seen, just from his participation tonight, just how valuable Council Vice President Pointer has been to this council. He digs in, he dives deep, he knows his facts, he has worked so hard for this town. And I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss working with him, but I'm going to miss him being on this council. And I hope that you would consider coming back at some time. He has been a dedicated worker. I've learned so much from him. And so, Council Vice President Pointer, this is the township's gratitude and appreciation for you and mine as well. Thank you so much. Mic drop.
One more. We have one more.
Margaret, you can stay there.
With that?
You stay there.
Okay.
You also stay there.
John,
Just
can
2
I have that
minutes.
back? Oh, you want to take pictures afterwards? Give them back to me. Give them my take them
Thank you, Council President. I sat alongside both of you and enjoyed your spirited conversations, your commitment to the community cannot be forgotten. So there is a token of appreciation from me personally, and it says you are a piece of a puzzle, and there is a reason for that. Thank you for your service. Now, Council President Margot Harris, what I can say about you. You earn a respect from the resident. Last entire year, I would say this entire year, we have watched the council meetings. I think they are the short run, good and bad. The long council meeting doesn't mean they are bad. That means that those were the dialogues of the democracy. Many people got a chance to participate. But the way you ran the meeting, the way you earned the respect, I don't think that I have ever seen a council president like you. It's in my honor. This is my 10th year. And a 10th year, I can rank you as the #1 council president of my choice. Again, thank you. Thank you for your commitment. And thank you to the service to this town. And this is a proclamation on behalf of this council. Thank you. And this is a special. This talks about the leadership. Leaders are born, and you are one of them. And this is what the message says about that. Thank you, and I appreciate for your service. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Margo, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna put it back in the box so you can take it home nicely. Yep. I'll give it back to you.
Nama's going to take it from you now to put in a box.
Put it back in the box so it goes home nicely. So it doesn't get scratched.
You're not getting this back.
Council President, if we're on this topic, I'd like to say something also. I want to, Margo, Nish, John, I want to thank you for your leadership. First and foremost, 3 council presidents here is it's a pretty big feat. Like the Assemblyman said, you leave behind a legacy defined by integrity, dedication, and a real impact on the people that you served. You've each shown a clear passion for the position and a strong commitment to serve the people of Edison. On a personal note, you welcomed me and guided me 2 years ago when first-time councilman, and I learned a lot from each of you, how to deal with complex issues. I was fortunate to work with you over the past 2 years and even more grateful to call you my friends. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Tough act to follow, but let's go on to discussion items. Anyone for discussion items? Yes, Councilman Patil.
I have a couple of them, and they are more of a follow-up. Kilmer Court, Sonia, this is something a month ago I brought up. If you can have someone go there and look at again. Ventnor Drive, this is a newly paved road. There are 3 big, I don't know whether they were water leak, something happened, but it's in terrible situation right now. So before it is too late, if you can find out. I wanted to know more about the Oak Tree Road grant. You know, there was a news article that we received.
That was a county project. I can provide you with what I have.
Sounds good, yeah. Thank you, Council President. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else for discussion points? Councilman Coyle, Councilman Brescher?
Listen, I'd just like to formally and publicly say thank you for your service. As our Assemblyman said, there's a lot of work that you do that the public doesn't understand. They might not agree with you. I might not agree with you. We might not agree. But at the end of the day, you're here, you're representing Edison, and you're working for the town. So for that, I thank everybody here that served. In fact, Councilman Coyle here is making a list of all the council people that have served since he's been up here. And it is a daunting task for everyone, so I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Any other? Okay.
Council President?
Yes.
Can I offer my closing remarks?
You may offer your closing remarks.
It would be a disservice if I didn't at least speak one last time, or at least in my opinion. And apologies to anyone that does not like prepared speeches. I had to do my best, though, to write things down. In what seems to be a blink of an eye, my term comes to a close. I'd like to give thanks to several groups and individuals for all their time and assistance during my time on council. First and foremost, to my wife, Brooke, For without her full support, I would not have been able to put as much time and energy as I did into serving our community. Her encouragement for me to do what I felt was right was a source of strength for me throughout. I want to express my gratitude to various officials and departments, to our state legislature and the Senate and the Assembly, to former mayors and previous council members, to our committees and boards, Planning Board, Zoning Board, Housing Authority, and Library Board, committees such as the Environmental Commission, Human Relations, Cultural Arts, and Open Space, to our various departments, Health, Recreation, Tax and Finance, Edison TV, IT, Water and Sewer, DPW, Engineering and Zoning, Police, Fire Department. Thank you for all that you do for the township. Thank you to our clerk's office, Marlena and Cheryl, for your tireless work and guidance throughout my council term. A lot of your work goes under the radar, but I hope you know I recognize all that you do. I also want to thank the administration and legal team, Sonia, Bob, Pat, Kat, Mary, Chelsea, Lou, Dave, Aaron, Ron, and Mike, for the countless hours spent providing information so I can make informed policy decisions and address residents' issues that were brought forward. Again, to all the township employees, thank you for your dedication to the Edison community. To my council colleagues, Councilman Brescher, you may not admit to this, but you were actually the first one that asked me if I would want to run in 2021. It's funny how things work out. Thank you for always being a steward of, honestly, any of the ordinances I brought up. You always responded to them, and your dedication to the finances of the township are commendable. Councilman Patil, I used your tactics of using subcommittees and reading aloud agenda items as president during my council presidency. Thank you for helping me get involved with the Net Zero Committee when you were council president. You can see how, I hope that you see that, you know, your actions as such helped lead me to where I am today. Councilman Schmuel, our introduction to each other is a little bit different because it's from the professional field. However, your quiet dedication to our residents doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate that we both try to handle business outside of public light and be effective in doing so. And Councilman Coyle, your commitment to our residents and advocacy for community involvement significantly influenced my decision to become an active member in our community, and if I'm being honest, is the reason why I registered as a Democrat when I moved to Edison. Of course, I need to thank my running mates, Council President, former Council President. Talk about God placing into my life the right people at the right time. Sorry. Council President, I always appreciate that you're always true to yourself. I can't express to you how much you helped me during my presidency term, and I credit you for the primary reason why I believe I had a successful term. Councilman Patel, you've always been a calming source whenever I got wound up about an item. I look forward to venturing on new bike paths in the near future, thanks to your work on those. You both have been my biggest advocates and kept me grounded through challenging moments. Thank you for your unwavering support and friendship. It's been an honor to have experienced this journey with you two. And finally, to Mayor Joshi, I'm proud to have been part of your first term. Your overall vision aligned with mine on many aspects, and I'm honored that you asked me to be part of your team and to have contributed to the good that's been accomplished. I wish you the best in your next term. To the residents of Edison, I've always tried to bring light issues brought to me. We do our best to bat 1,000, but unfortunately, that's not realistic. But nonetheless, you give your effort. Whether or not I fully agreed on an item, I did my best to make sure your views and opinions were heard. Over the past 4 years, I've had the privilege of serving in several key roles. As the council's planning board representative, I worked to establish meaningful conditions of approval that address residents' concerns. As both council vice president and council president, I prioritized treating everyone with respect and aiming to go above and beyond in keeping residents informed and answering questions. I'm particularly proud of my voting record on development and zoning matters, whether it was the Charlie Brown's appeal, my impact on the initial 1039 Amboy Avenue application, or not voting for the Route 1 redevelopment plan due to proposed quantity of units. I've consistently voted based on what I believe is best for the community. I'm happy to have supported initiatives that strengthen this community. Amongst other things, we've tackled blight, improved purchasing processes for better efficiency, and invested in critical water and sewer infrastructure. We've expanded recreational opportunities for youth, adults, and seniors, and set the foundation for zoning code updates that will continue improving quality of life for years to come. I'm proud I've drafted original versions of many ordinances and resolutions I've championed, whether it was creating the SMART Advisory Committee to research artificial intelligence and governance, drafting the billboard guidelines for the ordinance update, updating graffiti remediation capabilities, updating our adopted area ordinance, and others. I believe these enhance the quality of life for residents of the township. And finally, as it was mentioned before, I advocated and crafted a thoughtful revision of the Amboy Avenue redevelopment plan. I believe the bulk guidelines drafted strike the right balance between development and preserving the charm of Clara Barton. There are several items I never highlighted publicly, but take pride in having acted on that I'd like to mention. When the Clara Barton Library relocation was proposed, I spoke with the mayor and requested a town hall meeting for resident feedback. He obliged and afterwards adjusted his position, and the library remains in place. In 2024, during Finance Committee discussions, I was not supporting the initial proposed budget. With Councilman Coyle and Patel's support, we made sure to utilize reserves to reduce the municipal tax increase. I also brought the Violetix Road Analysis Program to the administration's attention, which the municipality now uses to enhance road paving decisions. Looking back, I recognize items I could have handled or approached differently. On the cannabis zoning discussion and the decorum ordinance, my apologies, Council President, there were certainly lessons learned. One item in particular I wish went different, the warehouse ordinance. I believe it would not have been detrimental to the economic effects of the LI zones, and I wish there was the support here on council to have passed that. But now, my focus turns to my next chapter. In the immediate future, you'll find me supporting my daughter's activities, helping my wife with her newly established business. I remain committed to community service. I'm looking forward to serving on the Peter J. Barnes Wildlife Preserve Commission to enhance recreation opportunities and protect the preserve. I'll also be reaching out to adopt an area with sites on the memorial on Amboy and Woodbridge and side roads in Clara Barton. Finally, I hope to stay connected with current and incoming council members to continue advocating for policies that improve our residents' everyday quality of life. And who knows, maybe one day I'll be back up here again. But in closing, I've always aspired to serve as a governing official, and contribute meaningfully to my community. I am deeply grateful for this opportunity, as it is not afforded to everyone. Throughout my tenure, I strived to lead with integrity and respect, ensuring I was knowledgeable about matters before us, spending countless hours researching policy initiatives, and reviewing goals I set for myself at the beginning of my term. I'm proud to say many have been accomplished or are underway. To the residents of Edison, I extend my heartfelt thanks for entrusting me with the privilege of serving our community in this capacity. It has been an absolute honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Patel?
Yes, so before I state my closing remarks, I did have one ask. For the Human Relations Committee, Maria brought up Kite Festival, and I brought it up to Bob's attention. He was supposed to give me a call. I'm not sure what happened to that. So can we follow up on that? That is something that they would like to have it next year in the springtime. Okay. As for me, I am not as prepared as Councilman Pointer, and he's always prepared to the deep end. But I would like to first start say thank you to my family, because without their support, none of this would have been possible, and especially my wife, who is essentially the engine of my house. She keeps everything running and takes care of my two kids so that I can and one of them is sick. And, you know, if it wasn't for her, I couldn't fully dedicate my time to this. So I am glad I have her, and without her, I think this would have been a worse of an effort. So I want to thank her, and I want to wish her a happy birthday, which is coming up. So it's official on town's records. The next person I would like to thank is all the people I met, everyone at the committees that I have served with, and they are so dedicated to the town, and I'm so appreciative of that. And everyone I meet that is outside of those committee people, I always tell them, serve the town, you know, participate in the committees, participate on the boards, and I try to encourage everyone to get their voices heard through the committees, because I truly believe the committees are the ways to improve the town and get good things happening in the town's level. And so I'm truly, truly thankful for everyone that serves on the boards or on the committees and the council here, because without all of us communicating and advocating for what is important, none of us would know what is important. So I am glad all of you are here voicing your opinion, and all of you dedicate your time to this. So thank you. I can't read my own handwriting here, but now the three of us have essentially started this journey together, and in a way, I'm glad we're ending it together, and I hope we continue outside of this. And most of the residents won't know this, but three of us meet every Sunday prior to the meetings to hash out any details, any questions we had. You know, what are our thoughts, you know, whether we disagree or agree. And I think that has been so monumentally helpful to me personally to understand the situation, because sometimes I come in from a one particular perspective, and I am glad I have them too to point out, you didn't think of this. So I am glad that we had that tradition, and I suggested to the next trio that they continue that tradition, because I believe it has been one of the most impactful things that have come from my serving here. I would like to personally thank Councilman John Pointer, who has become a friend, and I'm assuming that he's going to be my friend, so I'm not really. And Council President, you have been monumental to me learning few lessons that I wished I learned very beginning, but unfortunately in life, you can't go back in the past to learn something. So I'm glad I met you, because without you, I wouldn't have learned the lessons of patience, being true to yourself, because sometimes I do forget what is truly important to me. And I'm so glad that you're so steadfast in whatever you decide that it's important to you, and you stay true to, no matter what the obstacles are. So thank you for teaching me. And to the rest of my council colleagues, you guys have been amazing. You guys have worked so hard, and just like we keep mentioning that the residents don't see the back end, the efforts that go in to get these meetings done. So thank you for serving for the town, and thank you for teaching me a lot of the things that I have learned from each of you. Councilman Rusher, you have, I'll start with you, because you have always been the dissident voice, and I truly appreciate it, because initially, when I first started this journey, I didn't truly realize I needed that. And I'm glad that you were there to teach me the opposite side. And whether or not we agreed or not, I always respect you for it. And thank you for that. Councilman Coyle, you have always been by my side, and you always demanded me to be by your side. And I'll always be by your side. Councilman Patel, thank you for serving here. Thank you for leading the way. You have been one from the community, and you have sit at the table, and you always took care of our community, which is very important to me. And so thank you for that. Councilman Shmuel, you are essentially me when I first started, and I know this journey is hard, but I think you will learn so much, and you'll meet so many wonderful people that you will look back and be truly appreciative of it. I also wanted to mention my friend Saket, who has been a guiding force, even though he's younger than me, when it comes to politics and meeting people. And he dedicates his time to the community at his age when I truly didn't even think about these activities. So I'm so glad that we have young people like him putting in the time and the effort, and I hope him all the success in the world. And I would also like to thank the mayor. He had a vision, he got me on board, and I am so glad I got to be on this journey, and without him, I wouldn't be here. So, and I'm so proud to be part of his first term, like Councilman Pointer said. He has accomplished so many things that I'm proud to be part of. And I don't think as a council we could do it. It has to be him. He is the leader or the executor of the acts that we pass. But I am so glad he has accomplished all that he did, because it makes me truly proud to be part of this first term. And the residents, the most important piece to the puzzle. I thank you, each of you that come here. I got to know each of you, a lot of you, by their names. And I love that the time and the patience and the dedications that you guys give to this. It's not easy. I know you could be doing plenty of other things. So I'm thankful that you guys are here. And whenever you do come, I truly do listen, even if it feels like I'm not. But I truly do listen. And even to the people that come here just to stay silent for 4 minutes, I am appreciative of that, because it's an act of defiance, but it's a statement. And whatever you would like to say, I am glad that you are here to say it, because at the end of the day, if you weren't here, none of this would work. So thank you. And that'll be it for me. Thank you.
What they said. Motion to adjourn? No,
Council President, one quick 30-second thing. I just want to thank the Edison Democratic Party and the Middlesex County Democratic Organization for delivering such great candidates and council members. And I just want to recount the 9 members Rich and I and AJ have served with. Councilman President Lombardi, Council President Zendelsky, Council President Joyce Freeman, Councilmember Nish Patel, Council President Margot Harris, Council President John Pointer, Council President Bob Deal, Mayor Sam Joshi, and Council President Alvaro Gomez. That's 9 right there. 9 people we've served with. If the public has not seen an opportunity for a turnover and change in different opportunity, they have. It has not been the same people. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Okay. This is such a surreal moment for me. In some ways, the 4 years seems like it's been a long 4 years. In other ways, it seems like it's gone by the blink of an eye. And I can't even begin to adequately express how honored and privileged I've been to be representing the Township of Edison. This has been really one of the great privileges of my entire life. And I leave with very mixed feelings. I'm very wistful at this point, and I know it's the right decision at the right time for me. I'm very proud of what we have accomplished here, and I think Council Vice President has detailed many. I'm not going to go through the same things. I'm very proud about what we have been able to accomplish here. And yes, this is hard work. This is something that we dedicate a very big part of our lives to doing. And I think from the public's standpoint, I think that sometimes gets lost in translation. But we do work very hard, and it's been so worth it. I can't even begin to tell you. It's been so humbling to serve as Council Vice President. It's been so humbling to serve as Council President. And I need to go through the bullet points of all the departments that I want to thank. And first of all, just in general, to all the employees of the Township of Edison, we have such a great team. We've got such quality people who work here and who dedicate themselves. And I want to thank, just generally, I want to thank the Township employees for all that they have contributed and all that they have done. I want to give a special shout out to public safety And both our fire departments and our police departments, I have such tremendous admiration for, and I see how hard they work. I've gotten to know so many of you and relish the friendships and the relationships that we have formed. The fact is that fire and police have been so responsive. They've been responsive to concerns we have, to concerns that the residents have, and of course to the actual act of serving in public safety with all the challenges that there are in this, as I mentioned before, this 35-square mile town. So I have such tremendous admiration and truly loving for who you are and what you do. And I do pledge that I will still be attending as many of the public safety ceremonies as I possibly can. It's important to me. I want to also thank the engineering department, DPW, and the water and sewer departments, because you also have had many, many challenges on your hands, and they've been managed extremely well, and it's so much appreciated. I have to also give a lot of appreciation to the animal shelter staff and to public health. The animal shelter has improved so dramatically since we first came on the council. It is running smoothly, and the adoption rates are going terrifically. And I want to really thank Tina Pasakinski, who manages the shelter, for all the great work that she's put in. I want to thank Sonia and Lena and Ken and Bob Deal and Kat for all that you do, that you've also been extremely responsive to us. I know, Sonia, I want to thank you especially for having made yourself available for those Sunday calls that the three of us have had together, and that you're busy and you've got your family and it's on a Sunday night, but you've been available to us, and if not in our calls, you've been available to us just even offline as well. So a special thank you for that. I want to thank our attorneys. I want to thank Mike, and I want to thank David, Ron, and Lou, especially all of whom have represented us here at these meetings this past year. Your counsel is wise, and it's valuable to all of us. My fellow council members, I said my first speech when I came on here was saying that I really like all of my fellow council members, and then I said, there was sort of a pregnant pause, so far. And the fact is that here we are 4 years later, and I still really like all of my fellow council members. And I'm sorry that former council member Joyce Ship Freeman left, because she was on council at that time, and I wanted to extend that to her as well. But without going into the specifics of each and every one of you have been so valuable to me. You have given a lot to me and have helped me develop as a better council person, and that's true of all of you who have contributed in that. Councilman Patil, I got to make a special thing. What you just said before to me is going to stay with me for the rest of my life. I am so touched by what you said, and I will never forget it, and I really appreciate that. And what can I say about John and Nish? I have relished our partnership. I have relished the fact that we've partnered. We have really become good friends, and I agree with you, Councilman Patel, that I want us to get together on a regular basis. I don't know about every other Sunday. I don't know about doing the 9 o'clock call every other Sunday, but truly to get together and talk about whatever, whether it's personal, whether it's stuff having to do with the town. But you have been my partners, and that partnership is something that I will also always have with me. I want to thank, of course, Mayor Joshi, who got me involved on council to begin with. This was not something that I was looking to do, but he asked me, and my feeling is when I'm asked to serve, it was true with the Board of Ed as well. When I'm asked to serve, I will serve. If the people want me, I will serve. And I thank Mayor Joshi so much because even though I've lived here for almost 30 years, it'll be 30 years in May, even though I've lived here that long, there's no way I would have gotten the education about living here and about this township and how it works without having served here. And so I'm also humbled by his ask. I'm humbled by the public having voted for me, having elected me, and I've appreciated this learning experience that I've had. But like Councilman Patel, most of all, I do want to thank all of you, all of the Edison, all of my Edison neighbors, particularly the ones who come to these meetings, the ones who watch online. I want to thank you because you actually are the ones who are most responsible for making us better council members. And your advocacy, your participation, activism is so important. And I hope that people do start coming back in person to these meetings. I know a lot of people were turned off by a lot of the antics that were going on. They're not going on anymore. And I hope that you'll give the new council members a chance to show you as well that these meetings are worth being a part of. And finally, I will wish the incoming council members, I wish them well, and I will be sitting in the cheap seats over there. I will be sitting there and watching some of these council meetings live. I want to continue my participation. I want to say to not just the council members that are incoming and the current council and the mayor, what I want to say is, above all, listen to the public. Make sure that the public is heard and make sure that you listen, make sure that you respond. That is, I've learned as a clinical social worker, the biggest skill that I have is listening. And they say that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And so I want the incoming council and the current council and the mayor to remember that, to listen with your 2 ears. And with that, I want to thank you again. Thank you all. This is, as I said, this has been an experience I will never forget, and I appreciate everything, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And with that, Councilman Coyle, you usually are the one to...
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, you said that so slowly. All right. All right. And we had a second?
Second.
Okay. This council, and for the last time, I say this council is adjourned at 9:21 p.m. Thank you. Happy holidays to everybody.
There you go, nice and wrapped. Thank you. Oh,
Thank you.
I missed the point. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold on, I need to make sure something.